This is Stuart McMillan. I'll tell you why the governor rescinded all his picks for the St. Louis Police Board.
I'm Maria Kino.
It's clear that in secret they're planning this. Well, it's an invasion.
That's what Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker believes will happen in Chicago.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine today will give way to increasing clouds, a very warm high of 88.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A show of military might and a warning in Beijing. President Xi Jinping stood shoulder to shoulder with Russia's Vladimir Putin and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un at a massive military parade marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Xi, speaking through an interpreter, vowed China would never be bullied again.
Only when all countries and nations treat each other as equals, coexist in peace, and support each other, can we uphold common security, eradicate the root cause of war, and prevent the reoccurrence of historical tragedies.
President Trump responded on social media, accusing Xi, Putin, and Kim of conspiring against the U.S. Secretary of State Rubio says a deadly U.S. strike on a boat off the coast of Venezuela targeting the narco-terrorist group Tren de Aragua was a message from President Trump.
He's going to use the full power of America, the full might of the United States to take on and eradicate these drug cartels.
Rubio set to meet with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum today. A federal appeals court has ruled the president cannot use the 18th century Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelans. Legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
Trump unsuccessfully had argued that this Venezuelan gang is a state-sponsored international terrorist organization that has invaded the U.S.
The Alien Enemies Act had only been used 3 times in U.S. history and never since World War II. A court appearance is scheduled today for the Houston man charged with murdering an 11-year-old boy playing ding-dong ditch.
Police say Julian Guzman and his cousin knocked on Gonzalo Leon's door 3 times within 15 minutes. After the 3rd time, Leon allegedly followed the boys down the street and fired 2 shots.
Once into the ground, and then drew down and shot the young man in the back.
Harris County DA Sean Tier.
No reasonable person would be in fear for their life.
Police say Leon is an Army veteran. They found 20 guns and some smoke grenades in his home. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A new report from the American Cancer Society finds rates of advanced prostate cancer diagnoses are on the rise after a change in screening recommendations more than 10 years ago. CBS's Dr. John LaPook.
The bottom line was, as they started doing less and less screening with PSA for prostate cancer, you had a decrease in the diagnosis of prostate cancer, of course, but then an increase in metastatic prostate cancer.
Dow futures are down 1. S&P futures up 29. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
It is 6:03, and right now it is clear and 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman.
Our state police regularly works with the FBI, the ATF, the DEA.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker holding a press conference after President Trump says he will send the National Guard into Chicago.
Under previous White House administrations, we regularly received notice and worked together on crime-fighting operations.
Governor Pritzker says fighting a crime requires coordination, and there has been no such communication.
The head of the Illinois State Police received a phone call from CBP's Chief Patrol Agent, Gregory Bovino, indicating that ICE would be deploying to Chicago. It's the first outreach we have received from the Trump administration on this topic. So in the absence of significant federal coordination, we've gathered information from unauthorized patriotic officials inside the government and from well-sourced reporters about Donald Trump's plan, which is to deploy armed military personnel to the streets of Chicago.
Pritzker says he refuses to play a reality game show with Mr. Trump again. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Missouri lawmakers are heading into a special session today to address redrawing the state's congressional boundaries. At the center of the debate is the proposal to redraw the Kansas City area, a Democratic stronghold.
Critics argue the plan is designed to dilute the vote of Kansas City residents and give Republicans an advantage in future elections. The effort is supported by President Donald Trump, but it has already sparked backlash, including protests in Kansas City. If a new map is passed, it is expected to face legal challenges.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe has withdrawn all his appointments to the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners.
The move is being called temporary to allow the Missouri Senate to focus on the upcoming special session on redistricting. State law requires the Senate to address interim appointments within 30 days. So the withdrawal prevents a time-sensitive issue from interfering with the special session. Governor Mike Kehoe plans to renominate the same 5 people after the session with the goal of having them voted on during the regular legislative session. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer has raised concerns about the uncertainty the decision creates, but the police department has stated that Chief Robert Tracy will continue to oversee daily operations. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Now more on what could be an historic move in Wildwood.
It's been a long debate, says Councilman Michael Galani.
We're wasting time. We're causing unnecessary duress to the business people that are coming here
over whether to give tax breaks totaling more than $3 million to build apartments to fill in what's been undeveloped green space in the city's town center. It would be the first time Wildwood has given tax breaks to a developer. Council members Katie Dodwell.
Have any of you come to any of the businesses here in town center? Have you talked to the owners of the businesses in town center? Do you know how difficult it is for them to get business?
And Councilwoman Deborah Smith McCutcheon.
I'm in town center, at least 3 times a day for something or the other. I shop in town center. I support town center.
Continued the debate. After delaying their vote last month, it is expected back on the Wildwood agenda for next Monday's meeting. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
A number of new restaurants and businesses had opened their doors in the up-and-coming Del Mar Maker District when the May 16th tornado devastated the area. Danny Eichenhorst with Hustle Hospitality Group says some buildings will need to be demolished, and it'll be a while before others can reopen.
FEMA doesn't do a ton for small businesses. Insurance won't cover sort of the damage to the neighborhood and the loss of momentum that happens in the wake of a disaster like this.
She says it's really neighbor helping neighbor. Her company's Fountain on Del Mar and Steve's Hot Dogs have reopened. Saturday's Paint the Way Home event is a public art healing project with more than 25 artists painting murals on boards to beautify the area. She encourages people to come out and watch and patronize the businesses that have reopened.
Experts at the Missouri Botanical Garden hope using artificial intelligence will cut years off their work.
It would take, many lifetimes of work, more than I would be able to say here.
Matthew Austin is curator of biodiversity data. The Botanical Garden is in the first year of a 6-year project to digitize its massive collection of plant specimens. The project pairs imaging of light reflections with artificial intelligence to design a model for identifying unknown plant species. Austin says it will hopefully make human work more efficient.
Instead of them every week being given, say, 10 boxes of specimens to identify, they're given only 1 box, which are the specimens that the model couldn't handle.
Austin anticipates sharing the technology with other institutions to create one worldwide system for plant identification. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
It is 6:08. We're going to check traffic and weather. We'll be right back on Total Information AM.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio.
And the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
Traffic time on KMOX at 6:10. Roger Brand, overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, we still have our delays on eastbound 64. There's a bit of a backup right now, eastbound 64 as you approach Winghaven, and then it's slow from there. Not quite midway into K. So, again, I think it's getting better. Roadworks getting a little slow getting picked up. So there's still delays, but, again, it doesn't look as bad as it did 10, 20 minutes ago. But there are still some heavy spots there, again, approaching Winghaven, and then it's just sort of slow for a brief distance east of there, and then it looks better after that. Northbound 67 approaching Double C. There's a backup down in Jeffco, Morganford at Chippewa. We have an injury crash in St. Louis City. They're doing emergency repair work once again now through Friday. They started yesterday after the morning rush hour. Once again, westbound 5570 between 111 and 203. Right now, don't see any delays through there, but of course, as we add more volume, I'm sure that will become an issue. Next update at 6:20 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather. Sunshine today will give way to increasing clouds. Very warm this afternoon with a high of 88. Mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm moving through, though 58. Tomorrow, increasing amounts of sunshine and cooler, but quite nice, the high 76. For Friday, changeable skies with a couple of showers, especially in the afternoon, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 59 degrees with mostly clear skies in downtown St. Louis, and that weather is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now, so what are you waiting for? Check with Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's 6:12. 3 years after first committing $11 million to demolish hundreds of homes in Castle Point, just north of Bellefontaine Neighbors, the first ones are coming down.
Red tape and federal guidelines delayed demolition, according to County Executive Sam Page. Now with the first homes coming down, Page says the county hopes to have new homes constructed on these lots about a year after the properties have been bid out, which will come later.
Once you have control and ownership of a vacant lot, it takes about a year to get the permits, get the site prepared, get your contractors lined up.
Funding for the demolition of around another 140 homes is still available. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
University City has been dealing with flooding from the River Des Peres for years. Now there's a proposal for 106 townhomes near the river that has residents concerned because it would require cutting down 11 acres of trees and replacing soil with impermeable surfaces. At Tuesday's University City Stormwater Commission meeting, some residents said the unused part of United Hebrew Cemetery should be used for parkland, not development. Connie Fry with the University Heights Flood Task Force tells the Business Journal they have incident after incident of flooding and the city isn't listening to them. She says it's all about the money. The U City Council will take up the Enclaves at Canton proposal at their next meeting on Monday.
You've been denied coverage for a health care bill. Could artificial intelligence be your best advocate?
Neil Shaw is the founder and chairman of Counterforce Health. He says insurance companies have already been using AI to deny healthcare claims.
The other side is fighting with machine guns, and you're fighting back with a knife.
With funding from the National Institutes of Health, Shaw has created a free online platform that uses AI to craft an appeal letter specific to your case. Shaw boasts it has a 70% success rate so far.
Interestingly enough, there's a lot of cancer patients who are accessing therapies that got denied. I mean, that's like probably one of the most saddest stories that we see, and also one of the biggest positive social impacts, through our work.
Shaw says small medical clinics have also started using the service to help their patients. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
On the Chris and Amy show, they were daydreaming of what they would do with the Powerball jackpot, which is now an estimated $1.2 billion. They asked KMOX financial expert Dave Simons with One Private Wealth, if you do win, what do you do?
Before you contact the lottery officials that you are the person, you get in front of an estate planning attorney,
Okay.
a financial advisory team, and a CPA.
He also said, do not go public right away. Your name will eventually get out there and everyone will be some long lost relative asking you for money.
Okay, good advice. I would take any financial advice from Dave Simons. He's pretty good. 1.2 billion.
Billion.
I keep saying I'm going to play it. I think I may just do it. It's 6:15. Let's start our Cardinals coverage with KMOX's Matt Pauley.
Miles Michaelis pitches the Cardinals to a 2-1 victory over the A's using just 67 pitches. He goes 6 innings, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits. He does not record a single strikeout, and his only walk is intentional. Manager Oliver Marmol likes Michaelis' approach.
We know these guys are aggressive. We saw it yesterday. He's on the attack, 15 of the 22 ball in play. We're in 3 pitches or less. I mean, he had a 3-pitch inning, 4 first pitch outs. So all that plays into a really low pitch count. Made pitches when needed. The changeup was a good pitch for him today. Got the ground ball to Butler there for the double play. Got a couple other outs with it. But overall, man, did a really nice job. Some of the hard contact right at people. And it led to 6 really good innings.
The 3-pitch 4th inning is just the 4th 3-pitch inning for a Cardinals pitcher since pitch tracking became official. At Busch Stadium, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
The only offense was provided by Ivan Herrera. He hit a 2-run homer for that 2-1 Cardinals win. Offense has been in question recently. Hitting coach Brant Brown on the Gas House game yesterday with manager Ollie Marmol talking to us about the team's approach being a work in progress. The Inside Pitch, sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
It's been a work in progress. I would say the one big thing moving forward is that we are really trying to change what our hitters value as a whole. And we're really trying to change how they go about their day in preparing to beat a pitcher each and every night. It's not there yet, and we are working diligently and every day. And sometimes it shows itself and sometimes it doesn't. But I think at the end of the day, just our constant message of trying to restructure like how they go about their day, what they value, and how to execute on a team level instead of an individual level, I'm hoping ultimately will just assist our offense and make it more productive.
That's a rare visit with Cardinals hitting coach Brant Brown, very open and honest about some of the players and their preparation. In particular, he goes in depth on Jordan Walker. I think this is worth a listen. It's getting a lot of attention. Derek Gould actually wrote about it in the Post-Dispatch today. You can find it on the Gas House Gang on KMOX and our various social media channels. It's every day at noon on KMOX. We have a big sports schedule. I told you I was going to run through it real quick. Coming up on Friday through Sunday, the Stiefel Charity Classic in Norwood Hills Country Club. The Champions Tour is here. At the same time, NASCAR will gather at Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Enjoy Illinois 300 gets going. NASCAR Cup playoff race Sunday at 2 o'clock. The Bronze Boot will be played Sunday night. SLU at Herman Stadium against SIUE. The night before that, City takes on FC Dallas. And, of course, it's Cardinals Hall of Fame weekend, and the ceremonies are at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Al Raboski, Edgar Renteria, and Walt Jocketty. Boy, there's a lot going on, including Mizzou, KU, and Columbia, Illinois at Duke in college football. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker, a WashU Medicine gynecologic surgeon at Siteman Cancer Center. Dr. Thacker, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
What is uterine cancer and who needs to be concerned about it?
Uterine cancer is the only cancer in the country that's actually on the rise, with approximately 65,000 women going to be diagnosed this year disproportionately, Black women do get affected more and have worse outcomes, which is quite concerning. Uterine cancer is a cancer of the womb, as women like to say, where your child was in the birth canal before. Anyone who has postmenopausal bleeding, so after you've gone through menopause and you've stopped bleeding, you should not be bleeding ever again. So if you have bleeding after menopause, then you need to come and seek attention from a gynecologic provider.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let's get you caught up on your ride in and the weather. We've got a cloudy start to the morning, but things are going to heat up for sure. Details on that. I don't know that the roadways are heating up yet, but you never know. Roger Brands in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, they're not bad and actually getting a little better out west right now, Debbie. This traffic report to Service of Saks Financial, eastbound 64, still has slow traffic, actually both ways, just east of Winghaven, but the delays aren't as extensive as they have been, we'll say 20 minutes, 40 minutes ago. So better, but still busy on 64 there east of Winghaven. Northbound 67, still heavy traffic approaching Double C. It's not even quite midway back to Bucks Creek, so not terrible. Northbound 55 starting to see some slow stuff. Weber Road up through Virginia in the construction zone. Illinois side, don't see any delays in work zones. Northbound 255 at Horseshoe Lake Road. We have work ongoing. Emergency repair work started up again on westbound 5570 between 111 and 203, but right now things look good through that area for you as well. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Did you know that you have a pension and there are ways to maximize how you take it? That's right. It's called Social Security. Find out more at retiresafestl.com/guide. That's retiresafestl.com/guide.
Weather forecast, boy, for all this stuff going on here over the next several days, we are in luck. We have some great weather coming. Sun today, very warm this afternoon, a high of 88. But tonight, after a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, low 58, we open up some fall-like weather tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Each day, temperatures around 75 degrees. The only rain maybe Friday afternoon. Otherwise, clear and sunny the rest of the way. Right now, we have a mostly clear sky in downtown St. Louis. It's 59 degrees.
The news continues at 6:22. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is making remarks after President Trump told reporters he is sending the National Guard to Chicago. Pritzker says that the state will ensure that any agents operating within Illinois do so within the confines of the law.
First, Donald Trump is positioning armed federal agents and staging military vehicles on federal property, such as the Great Lakes Naval Base. It is likely those agents will be with ICE, Customs and Border Patrol, the Department of Homeland Security, and other similarly situated federal agencies. Many of these individuals are being relocated from Los Angeles for deployment in Chicago. We believe that staging that has already begun started yesterday and continues into today. Second, unidentifiable agents in unmarked vehicles with masks are planning to raid Latino communities and say they're targeting violent criminals. As we saw in Los Angeles, a very, very small percentage of the individuals they will target will be violent criminals. Instead, you're likely to see videos of them hauling away mothers and fathers, traveling to work or picking up their kids from school. Sometimes they will detain, handcuff, and haul away children. They are law-abiding individuals who pay taxes and contribute to the communities who feel safe going to work and attending mandatory immigration check-ins. In other words, they're following the law. We have reason to believe that Stephen Miller chose the month of September to come to Chicago because of celebrations around Mexican Independence Day that happen here every year. It breaks my heart to report that we have been told ICE will try and disrupt community picnics and peaceful parades. Let's be clear, the terror and cruelty is the point, not the safety of anyone living here. Third, as lawful citizens exercise their First Amendment rights, Trump and his team will be looking for any excuse to put active duty military on our streets, supposedly to protect ICE. We have reason to believe that the Trump administration has already begun staging the Texas National Guard for deployment in Illinois. I want to be very clear on this point, and I want to speak directly to the press right now. We know before anything has happened here that the Trump plan is to use any excuse to deploy armed military personnel to Chicago. If someone flings a sandwich at an ICE agent, Trump will try and go on TV and declare an emergency in Chicago.
Governor Pritzker is imploring everyone, if and when it happens, do not take the bait.
After about 30 days or so, we believe that they will pick up all of those resources that they send here to Chicago and send them to the next city in a blue state, ignoring cities in red states with higher violent crime rates than we have. None of this is about fighting crime or making Chicago safer. None of it. For Trump, it's about testing his power and producing a political drama to cover up for his corruption. If you need any proof of this, that it's all a big show, well, look at who they're putting in charge. Gregory Bovino, a guy who desperately wants to be a reality TV star. He led the cruel adventures of ICE in Los Angeles, and he's been sent here to do the very same thing. Go look at his social media. He terrorizes innocent people and then posts on TikTok edits of himself. Apparently, this is a Trump administration norm, because the last time we saw staged major ICE raids in Chicago, they sent Dr. Phil here to embed with the agents so he could get views and likes for his social media. When Bovino pulled these stunts in LA, people got hurt. 2 innocent people died trying to flee his masked agents. ICE opened fire on a vehicle without dangerous provocation. They detained a disabled 15-year-old, drew their guns on him. They have ripped mothers away from their babies and handcuffed 10-year-olds. In Washington, they pulled over firefighters headed to fight an actual wildfire and detained 2 of the firefighters on duty in that effort.
President Trump says he will send National Guard to Baltimore as well after those deployments to Chicago, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C.
It's 6:27. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Missouri Athletic Club expanding again. Back in 1995, they took over the old Town and Country Racket Club, that Town and Country Tennis Club, and turned it into the Missouri Athletic Club West, the MAC West. What a great spot it is, with the pool and all the restaurants and all the great activity out there, great events. But downtown has been going on for a long, long time, and now Clayton gets a little bit of the Missouri Athletic Club. Clayton at the Pierre Laclede Center in Clayton. Really exciting times for the Missouri Athletic Club, taking over the old St. Louis Club location there, overlooking Clayton, a view of downtown St. Louis, the skyline, and the athletic facilities as well. Some workout facilities there, but the dining and the bar and the meeting space, oh man, the MAC Clayton's going to be incredible. They've already offered it to their membership. This is going to open early 2026, the MAC Clayton. mac-stl.org.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life.
Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for 213 Complex, which you can pick up at Supplement Superstores. With school back in session, you're into a new routine. That routine's going to last. Make it a fitness routine as well. I know that's what I'm doing in advance of the holidays, and I'm using 213 Complex to get it done because what I'm getting is all-day boost to the metabolism, 24 hours a day. I get appetite control, which is huge for me, and all-day focused energy that comes with no jitters. So for you, just go to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will give you 30% off the 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Well, if you can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation today. 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters. BannerConstruction.com.
It is 6:30 and we have partly clear skies in downtown St. Louis. It's 59 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's a little more volume out there on southbound 61 now, folks. You have some heavier traffic approaching Wentzville Parkway to 64, and it's still busy east of 364 through the Winghaven area. Overnight road work has kept that busy all morning long. Northbound 67 approaching Double C, a little backup. 55, the right lane's a little busy approaching Mattis. All lanes from about the Union Road overpass up to River to Pear are slower now. Northbound 270 north of Manchester up to 64. That looks a little heavy now as well. Downtown, seeing some slow traffic westbound 70 as you get past the Musial Veterans Bridge out through, well, not quite to Branch, but it's busy through that area. And 64, a little slow at the 70 split right now as well. Also have a crash on 111 south of Old Edwardsville Road, an overturned vehicle in a ditch there. And there's some heavy traffic on westbound 5570 between Route 40 and 159. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We will have some sunshine today and then increasing clouds. It's going to be 88 degrees, but then that's it for a while for our hot temperatures because we're looking at a couple of showers and a thunderstorm rolling through tonight and overnight so that by tomorrow, it's going to be sunny and 76, 74 on Friday. It's 59 right now.
It's 6:32. The fight is on to flip Missouri's 5th congressional district. Elisa Nelson reports the state legislature's special session begins today at the Missouri Capitol.
Some Republicans have their sights set on flipping Missouri's 5th congressional district in hopes of having 7 Republican-leaning districts and 1 Democratic stronghold. Governor Mike Kehoe has called a special session to change the districts to, quote, truly put Missouri values first, unquote. Kansas City Democrat Emmanuel Cleaver has represented the 5th district for nearly 21 years. Elisa Nelson, Missouri Net.
It's been a long debate about a patch of grass in Wildwood.
It's one of the only undeveloped spots left in the city's town center district, which first began opening in phases 20 years ago and is anchored by a Dierbergs and a movie theater. Developers plan an apartment building. Construction of that was long ago approved, but now they're asking for tax breaks too. Council members, though, keep hitting the delay button on making a decision. Councilman Michael Galani.
We've been tabling this situation for many months. This isn't the first time we're talking about this or looking at this or considering this. This is the finish line, guys.
Councilwoman Katie Dodwell says Wildwood needs to offer more than just expensive single-family homes.
They can't afford to move into a house out here. They're dying to move out here.
But Councilwoman Deborah Smith McCutcheon says young families can't afford these apartments either.
There may be some, but I don't think there's a lot.
Galani, who works in the mortgage industry, says they should get it done.
I can't be more frustrated because we do this every time. It's laughable. It's not, no business operates like this.
The next Wildwood meeting is next Monday. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
In response to a state audit, the St. Louis Public Schools Board of Education is promising to focus on strengthening policies, building leadership, and increasing transparency. According to board president Karen Collins-Adams, the goal is to create a more robust system that supports district leaders and focuses on student education. The board has engaged the Missouri School Boards Association to help identify key strategies and ensure that audit recommendations are being followed. SLPS's next board meeting is September 9th.
It is 6:34. We've got your money report coming up next on Total Information AM.
I always get asked, when's the best time of the year to purchase an air conditioning and heating system for your home? My response is always the same. If you call me and have a free consultation on your needs and based on your budget, it's always a good time. There's never a bad time. You don't fear my pricing. I try to buy as much as I can at the start of the season, and anything we have left over, it's still a discounted price to you. So if you're looking or you're waiting before winter, because we all put it off, man. We all put it off. None of us like to spend money. But if you know you're going to be doing something before winter, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
This is Total Information AM, your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, Elder Law Attorneys.
Good morning. A federal judge in the antitrust case against Google ruled that the internet search giant does not have to sell its Chrome web browser. While Google avoided the harshest penalties, it did not leave the court unscathed. The company will be required to share online search data with rival companies. In a win for Apple, Google can continue to pay Apple to make it the default search engine on iPhones. That means roughly $20 billion a year for Apple. A British automaker's operations have been crippled by a cyber attack. Jaguar Land Rover says it is working to restart its global applications after the attack forced it to shut down its systems. JLR says there's no evidence that any customer data was stolen. And the holiday shopping season is a couple of months away, and it could turn out to be a tough one for retailers. A prediction from Price Waterhouse says shopping will decline this year due to Gen Z's concerns about rising prices, tariffs, and the higher cost of living. The report released today shows consumers expect to cut their seasonal spending by 5%. With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM KMOX.
An ice-cold Budweiser that goes hand in hand with baseball. Budweiser is the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. That clean, crisp, refreshing taste of an ice-cold Budweiser on a warm summer day. And now, as we head into fall baseball going this month here in St. Louis, and Major League Baseball and Budweiser, they go together, don't they? You know what else Budweiser is very proud of over the last 15 years? They are a founding partner, Anheuser-Busch is, with Folds of Honor. And its brands and wholesaler partners have donated over $33 million to Folds of Honor, which has funded over 6,600 scholarships for Folds of Honor recipients. It started when Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney saw a family meet their fallen hero, and he knew he had to act, and that sparked Folds of Honor. Service never stops, and neither will Budweiser. You can donate at Budweiser.com, or you can just buy a 12-pack of Bud or Bud Zero. Budweiser, this Bud's for you.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
Friday night, the Kansas City Chiefs are set to kick off the new season against the Chargers in Brazil.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
Catch all the action beginning at 6 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
It is 6:39. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Breast cancer recurrence treatment. I'm Fred Bottomer with 60 Seconds to Better Health. University of Pennsylvania researcher Dr. Angie D. Michelle on the findings from her new study.
We believe that we've found a new way to identify patients at risk and a new way to treat these patients to hopefully prevent them from ever having their breast cancer come back again. We were able to clear the cells in approximately 80% of the patients who had them. And we've also seen that those patients have largely not relapsed. Because they're asleep, they are not really functioning like normal cancer cells. And so they needed different types of treatments to eliminate them. We believe that this is early evidence that it's possible to target and kill these dormant sleeping cells before they can wake up, relapse, travel to other parts of the body, and become incurable metastatic breast cancer. We think this looks very promising as a new way to find and eradicate the cells that are causing women with breast cancer to relapse.
With 60 Seconds to Better Health, I'm Fred Bottomer.
And with traffic, Roger Brand, Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's getting busy out there, Tom. This traffic reports the service of the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. We have a backup right now on westbound 5570, just west of Route 40, about midway into 159. So just be prepared there. Downtown, we have a crash westbound 70 right near Madison. So it's backing up the Mutual Veterans Bridge back over to the Illinois side. And eastbound 44 is pretty heavy coming almost back to the Poplar Street Bridge. Northbound 55. The right lane south of Butler Hill to Mattis, all lanes from the Union Road overpass to River to Pear are busy. North 270, Tesson Ferry through Gravois, Big Bend up through Doherty Ferry, and north of Manchester up to Ladue is pretty busy. Southbound 61, a backup Highway P in pockets down to 64 is busy, and then it's slow again east of 364 through Winghaven. Eastbound Highway 70 approaching Lake St. Louis Boulevard into Highway K. That looks a little slow as well. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 178-year Young Mutual Company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 6:42, and I see the clouds kind of parting, and we do see some clear skies in downtown St. Louis right now. And Joe Lundberg, our AccuWeather meteorologist, has promised us some sunshine today.
I do indeed, and we'll see some of that sunshine, and that's what's going to propel temperatures up to a high of 88, as warm as we are going to see it for the next week across the area. I say that because one front will come through the area tonight, and with it, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. There'll be some brief downpours and gusty winds, but it doesn't look like there'll be much in the way of severe weather concerns. And boy, do we need the rain after a very dry August. It's just seems like it's been forever since it's rained. We'll take this. Our low 58. Behind it, clouds give way to more and more sun tomorrow. Cooler day, but a nice one, the high 76. Front number 2 comes through Friday with it. Lots of clouds, a couple of showers. Doesn't look like it rains very much. Best chance afternoon and evening, the high 74. But it cleans out for the weekend. Wall-to-wall sunshine expected Saturday and Sunday, about 77 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. 62 at St. Peter's, 63 in Florissant. Clouds, partly cloudy skies. We'll call it 66 downtown at the Arch. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We have sports on the way in 2 minutes on Total Information AM. Continuing the news, eBay is turning 30. It's one of the original websites, having survived the dot-com bust, the recession, the pandemic, and so far, AI. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scherr takes a look at eBay's impact on pop culture, as well as the tech industry.
Almost since its beginning, eBay has been a fixture of pop culture, with some movies and TV shows including side plots of selling off old childhood toys. And of course, there's Weird Al Yankovic's famous parody of the site discussing all the random stuff you can find and buy there. Ian Schur, CBS News.
A Southern California woman says she lost everything after falling for an elaborate AI-powered romance scam. Abigail Ruvalcaba believed she was in a relationship with General Hospital star Steve Burton after receiving deep fake videos that looked and sounded just like him. Over time, scammers convinced her to send more than $400,000, including the proceeds from selling her family's condo. Burton has since warned fans he would never ask for money, but for Abigail, that warning came too late. Now her family is fighting eviction while hoping her story prevents others from being duped.
She really believed it, 100%. I mean, she argued with me, Vivian, you're telling me that I'm talking to someone that is AI. This man looks like him, sounds like him. I mean, I watch him on television. I'm like, who is this money going to? The $81,000? Oh man, I was just beside myself. Where did all this go? How did it all happen?
Who's Hot, Who's Not, sponsored by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories. Cardinals with a 2-1 win over the A's last night. Ivan Herrera with the 2-run homer and a very nice pitching performance by Miles Michaelis. Michaelis ended up yesterday going 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 5 hits. He just issued 1 walk, didn't strike out anyone, but he's a pitch to contact guy, and he picked up a win. He's 7-10. With a 4.89 ERA. But as for the who's hot, who's not, it's clear who's not right now. It's Jordan Walker. Walker, you have to go way back to find his last hit, just in his last 2 games, and he didn't play yesterday. But on Monday, in that 11-3 loss to the A's, he was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And on Sunday, in the loss to the Reds, he was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He was a topic on the Gas House Gang yesterday as we had a nice visit with Cardinals hitting coach Brant Brown, along with manager Ollie Marmol. Brown was very open, very honest about Walker, and here's Bernie Miklasz' question to him.
I wanted to ask you about Jordan Walker, and I don't really need to, ask a lengthy question because we know the situation. He's looked good at times this year, but then it sort of just falls back into that hole he's been in, and he's in one of those holes now. Tell us what you see with him and all the work that you two have been doing together and what progress you see, if any, and what's it going to take for him to be more consistent?
I mean, just on his like daily structure level is at some point in time, he's going to have to devote kind of more focus on preparation. We've had long conversations with this, is not only looking at film on the starter, but also being able to come in and the first day of a series, like just take a look at all the bullpen guys, like all the information and videos available. Just so we're not like, getting snuck up on when a guy comes in.
That's Brant Brown. That is pretty open and honest about a player's preparation not being at the level that they want. There is much more on Jordan Walker in that Gas House Gang podcast, and we'll play some more of that here this morning. But it was an eye-opening visit, to say the least, with Cardinals hitting coach Brant Brown. The Gas House Gang, wherever you get your podcasts. We have a Cardinals game tonight, 6:45 start, 5:50 pregame for the Cardinals and the Athletics. Day off tomorrow. They host the Giants this weekend. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories. And now, as we head into the fall, there are a few things to consider when it comes to St. Louis Composting. You know that during the spring and summer, I was telling you about all the ways that you can, go around and mulch your yard and find different ways to enhance your landscaping and your summer look. Well, in the fall, let's talk about the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. Top dressing with Super Char. helps break up tough clay soils, improves water retention, and adds organic matter back into the ground. It's a premium blend of their black gold compost. It's designed to build healthier soil. You can rent a compost spreader or talk to your landscaper about using Superchar on your lawn. How about your pumpkins? What do you do with them? Do you throw them away? Don't toss them. Bring them to St. Louis Composting. Starting October 1st, you can drop off your old pumpkins for free at any of their 9 retail locations. And when you do, you get a $10 coupon towards your next purchase. STLcompost.com.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024, see dealer for details.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at kingmox.com.
Total Information AM. Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 6:50 and time for us to check in with Roger Brand, who's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, you're busy in spots already this morning out there. This traffic report's a service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. One of those places is downtown. That crash in the right lane westbound 70 near Madison has traffic jammed solidly back to the Illinois side of the Musel Veterans Bridge, and eastbound 44 is backed up at the Poplar, converting out onto westbound 70 there. Still have delays on westbound 5570, Route 40, midway into 159. Doesn't look as solid of a jam as we had earlier, but still heavy nonetheless. Southbound 61 approaching P down onto 64. Up to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, a couple of slowdowns, both sides of Winghaven, still busy. Eastbound 70 from Highway A all the way into K. There's more volume there. South 270 Page down to Ladue is slow. Northbound 270, you've got heavy traffic north of 55 up to about Sappington and Big Bend, most of the way up to Ladue. Northbound 55, the right lanes up through Madison, and all lanes Union up to River to Pear are slow at this time as well. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
Warm day today, high 88, says Joe Lundberg, and then some clouds come in. We're going to have a couple of showers and a thunderstorm tonight. Low drops down to 58. And tomorrow, a high of just 76, sunny and cooler. Friday, a couple of showers in the afternoon, high 74. But Saturday and Sunday, sunny, delightful, says Joe. A high 77 Saturday and 75 and beautiful on Sunday. Right now, it's cloudy and 59 degrees, clear in parts of downtown. But we're seeing some clouds pop around some of the areas. Again, 59 degrees.
The news continues at 6:52. Missouri lawmakers heading into special session today to redraw the state's congressional boundaries. At the center of the debate is a proposal to redraw the Kansas City area, which is a Democratic stronghold. Critics say that plan is designed to dilute the vote of Kansas City residents to give Republicans another Republican seat in future elections. That effort is supported and promoted by President Trump. It is sparking some backlash, including protests in Kansas City. If a new map is passed, it's expected to face legal challenges.
Governor Kehoe has rescinded all of his picks for the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department's Board of Commissioners. According to the governor's office, this move was made so the Missouri Senate can focus on redistricting and initiative petition reform instead of addressing the interim appointments. The decision has created some uncertainty, with Mayor Kara Spencer stating her office is seeking clarity on the situation to ensure clear lines of authority. Despite this, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has stated that Chief Robert Tracy will continue to oversee daily operations.
A mysterious killing of a St. Louis teenager on the grounds of her high school has resulted in an arrest more than a half-decade later.
26-year-old Marquise Quinn has been charged in the fatal shooting of 16-year-old Christina Curry, who was killed in the parking lot of Roosevelt High School in 2019. According to charging documents, Curry and Quinn had a romantic relationship, and Curry was pregnant, believing Quinn to be the father. The probable cause statement says Quinn texts Curry to meet him at Roosevelt High School on May 22, 2019. She was found dead in the exact meeting spot the next day. Asked what new evidence led them to an arrest, St. Louis police declined to share. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
This morning, House lawmakers will hold a news conference with some of Jeffrey Epstein's victims as they push to make more files on the investigation public. Democrats and some Republicans say yesterday's drop of more than 33,000 documents contained little new information. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill with more from New York.
Bipartisan frustration on Capitol Hill after some files related to convicted high-powered sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were released yesterday.
97% of those documents were already part of the public domain. It's nothing new.
Among the documents, victims' interviews, flight logs, and that missing minute from the jail video on the night of Epstein's death. Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna are planning a news conference with Epstein's victims, one day after they share their stories behind closed doors with House leaders, as the lawmakers try to force a House vote to make more files public.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement.
It's your birthday.
Local celebrity birthdays are sponsored for you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. You can send birthday and anniversary requests to Total AM at KMOX.com. Happy birthday wishes going out to Joanne Sterner and Carol Petrie of O'Fallon, Illinois, from yesterday's kids. Happy 5th, Audrey Elliott from Aunt Jeannie. Happy 20th anniversary, Tom and Diane Keener from the Game Nighters. And happy birthday wishes going out to Patty Short.
This is the best birthday ever.
Always happy to talk about Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. Chesterfield Fence and Deck since 1968. They go way back. And yes, they're in Chesterfield, but they cover the entire St. Louis area. ChesterfieldFence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been the premier fence and deck company in St. Louis, the one that homeowners trust for durable, stylish, and expertly crafted outdoor solutions. If you're looking for fences, decks, maybe a new sunroom, look no further than the warehouse at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. It's not just a warehouse. It is a showroom. It's got it all. They have the materials there. They have the showroom there where you can actually walk into a sunroom, step out onto a patio, maybe touch the different fences that they have, the decks that they have on display. It really is like walking through someone's neighborhood. Really cool. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the leading fence and deck company in St. Louis. They take pride in offering exceptional products and services. So many people in St. Louis, many homeowners are choosing them for their outdoor transformations. And believe me, it has crossed my mind many times how nice, especially when the weather's this good, how nice would it be to do this or this or this? I could get a little carried away with it, but they'll come over and do a free consultation for me and show me all the options. I love them. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. And mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer online. Get NordVPN today with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic and help you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. Get the special NordVPN deal today at NordVPN.com. Ackerman.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on NordVPN.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Let's check in with Roger Brandon, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, they just cleared a crash into the construction area, so it's not blocking a lane any longer. South 270, south of Ladue. Traffic's bogged down almost at Dorset, and it's jammed as you approach Olive Town into that area right now. Northbound 270 has a backup from as you ramp on from 55 about midway up to Tesson Ferry. Looks like we could have a problem there. And then from about Big Bend all the way up to Ladue, it's busy on that run in. Northbound 55, the right lane's still busy around Mattis. It's slowed approaching Revis and spots up to River de Pere. They cleared that crash westbound 70 at Madison. Traffic is still slow back at the Poplar, and it's still slow crossing the Mutual Veterans Bridge as well. If you're traveling in on southbound 61, Highway P down onto 64 is busy. 64 is still slow in pockets headed past Winghaven. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the CBS News World News Roundup, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A massive display of military might in Beijing and a warning to the U.S. President Xi Jinping vowed not to be bullied again at a parade marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. CBS's Anna Corin has details from Beijing.
This spectacle was more than just commemorating the war dead. It was an opportunity for Xi to take center stage, flanked by his powerful allies and neighbors, Russia's President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. And the message was undeniable. Strength in solidarity and a challenge to the U.S.-dominated world order.
In a social media post, President Trump accused China, Russia, and North Korea of conspiring against the U.S. The president says 11 narco-terrorists were killed in a U.S. military strike in the Caribbean. Correspondent Charlie Daggett from the Pentagon.
The target, he said, was a boat filled with members of the designated terrorist organization TDA, or Tren de Aragua, who were allegedly transporting illegal drugs from Venezuela to the U.S.
The Pentagon is allowing up to 600 military lawyers to serve as temporary immigration judges.
The influx will double the number of judges who face a backlog of 3.5 million cases.
Perhaps the administration shouldn't have fired over 100 judges since January of this year.
Jennifer Payton, who claims she was fired without cause, says the remaining judges are swamped.
I don't know how they have time to do their own motions, no less train and mentor new temporary immigration judges.
The head of the American Immigration Lawyers Association says appointing inexperienced judges makes as much sense as having a cardiologist do a hip replacement. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Lightning strikes have ignited new wildfires in California, Sierra Nevada. One is raging in the historic gold rush town of Chinese Camp, southeast of Sacramento. Tuolumne County Sheriff David Vasquez.
Property losses, we were going to wait to see what those are pinpointed down to, but there has been significant property loss.
Cardi B walked out of court in L.A. with her head held high after she was found not liable in a $24 million civil lawsuit filed by a Beverly Hills security guard who accused the rapper of assaulting her with her spiky fingernail extensions outside a doctor's office.
Even if I'm in my deathbed, I swear to God, I will say it in my deathbed. I did not touch that woman. I did not touch that girl. I didn't lay my hands on that girl.
The jury deliberated for less than an hour before reaching a verdict. Dow futures are up 6. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
It is 7:04, and right now it's partly sunny and 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. The news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. The fight is on to flip Missouri's 5th congressional district. Elisa Nelson reports the state legislature's special session begins today at the Missouri Capitol.
Some Republicans have their sights set on flipping Missouri's 5th congressional district in hopes of having 7 Republican-leaning districts and 1 Democratic stronghold. Governor Mike Kehoe has called a special session to change the districts to, quote, truly put Missouri values first, unquote. MissouriNet asked the governor what he means.
I think that Speaker Johnson is representative of Missouri values.
Kansas City Democrat Emmanuel Cleaver has represented the 5th District for nearly 21 years, and some of the Republicans who support the changes are his friends.
The worst part of this is people that I know and like are going to probably have to, in their minds, follow what the president has ordered.
Elisa Nelson, MissouriNet.
Governor Kehoe has withdrawn all his appointments to the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners.
The move is being called temporary to allow the Missouri Senate to focus on the upcoming special session on redistricting. State law requires the Senate to address interim appointments within 30 days. So the withdrawal prevents a time-sensitive issue from interfering with the special session. Governor Mike Kehoe plans to renominate the same 5 people after the session with the goal of having them voted on during the regular legislative session. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer has raised concerns about the uncertainty the decision creates, but the police department has stated that Chief Robert Tracy will continue to oversee daily operations. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
It's been years in the making, but Missouri has finally eliminated the luxury tax on diapers and period products. Those items will now be taxed at a rate that's 3% lower. The St. Louis Area Diaper Bank called the new law a monumental win for families across Missouri. They say about 1/4 of Missouri parents have missed school or work because they couldn't afford diapers and therefore couldn't drop their child off at daycare. Lack of access to period products also contributes to girls missing school and women missing work.
St. Louis County has begun demolition of more than 200 homes in the Castle Point neighborhood in North St. Louis County.
If you're thinking this announcement sounds familiar, it's not without reason. County Executive Sam Page first signed the bill to commit these ARPA funds nearly 3 years ago.
Last week, the County Council committed $11 million of federal funds so that we can make some real headway in taking down some of our abandoned buildings.
That was 2022. Asked now about the delay between allocating the funding and the first homes finally coming down, Page blames red tape.
Those restrictions were too constricting, and everywhere they delayed the use of those funds.
Page says they hope to tear down these problem properties in about a year and have set up a page on the county website to track their progress. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
It's been a long debate about a patch of grass in Wildwood.
It's one of the only undeveloped spots left in the city's town center district, which first began opening in phases 20 years ago and is anchored by a Deerbergs and a movie theater. Developers plan an apartment building. Construction of that was long ago approved, but now they're asking for tax breaks too. Council members, though, keep hitting the delay button on making a decision. Councilman Michael Galani.
We've been tabling this situation for many months. This isn't the first time we're talking about this or looking at this or considering this. This is the finish line, guys.
Councilwoman Katie Dodwell says Wildwood needs to offer more than just expensive single-family homes.
They can't afford to move into a house out here.
They're dying to move out here.
But Councilwoman Deborah Smith McCutcheon says young families can't afford these apartments either.
There may be some, but I don't think there's a lot.
Galani, who works in the mortgage industry, says they should get it done.
I can't be more frustrated because we do this every time. It's laughable. It's not, no business operates like this.
The next Wildwood meeting is next Monday. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
I'm Maria Quito.
I can't live in a fantasy land where I pretend Trump is not tearing this country apart for personal greed and power.
Governor J.B. Pritzker reacting to news the National Guard will be in Chicago. I'm Maria Quito with the story.
It is 7:08. We're going to check traffic and weather next.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res Carpet Cleaners. So a few times a year, they do something really nice for everybody and have a great sale. So now through September 1st, the Labor Day sale is going on at Zero Res. 3 rooms for $119 plus a free hallway and $75 off your air ducts. Call Zero Res today, 314-474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com. I've been with Zero Res now for 15 plus years. They've been to my house a dozen times. I have pets and they make the carpet stinky. And the Glovers live pretty hard. So we need it, once every year and a half. I can tell you without reservation that they are so professional, so courteous, so punctual. They're going to make it very easy on you. And we also have the 30-day God Love It guarantee, where if we don't blow you away, let us come back and take another shot at it. 314-474-2020 or ZeroResSTL.com.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 364-94, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit LombardoHomes.com for more information.
Hey guys, Dave and Rach here for our good friends at Smart Mouth. So it is unique by the very definition of the word. It's the only mouth rinse out there with 2 chemicals that combine to prevent bad breath for 24 hours a day with just 2 rinses a day.
Never have bad breath again. You can find Smart Mouth locally at Schnucks and Deerbergs or at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon. Visit smartmouth.com to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
710, Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, if you're traveling down 270, there's a crash. They moved into the work zone right around Ladue, Tom, so it's out of the way. Traffic's backing up south of Dorset through 364 and then Olive down toward 64 after that, so it's not impacting traffic now that it's out of the roadway, so hopefully it'll keep things from getting worse. Northbound 270, Tesson Ferry up to 44 and Big Bend up to Ladue. That's all pretty busy right now. Eastbound 70 from Wentzville Parkway all the way into Highway K. There's some more volume at a slower pace. Southbound 61 south of P, down onto 64 to about Lake St. Louis Boulevard, and then east of 364 through Winghaven. You've got some slower traffic. Northbound 55, the right lane's bogged down. South of Butler Hill up to 270. Again, a little busy approaching Revis, and then north of Bayless up through Virginia is heavy. Northbound Telegraph jam. Christopher up through Baumgartner got an injury crash northbound just past that point. Eastbound 44, a little busy approaching the Mutual Veterans Bridge because of that earlier crash we had on 70 at Madison. They cleared that a little while ago. Next update at 720 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Very warm today. Sunshine followed by increasing clouds. Our high reaching 88. Tonight will turn cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm moving through, though 58. Those clouds will give way to increasing amounts of sunshine tomorrow. A cooler but nice day, high 76. For Friday, clouds, a few sunny breaks, and a couple of showers, especially in the afternoon, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we do have sun and clouds in downtown St. Louis. It is 59 degrees.
It's 7:12. President Trump makes it official, sending armed military personnel into Chicago.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says while it has been rumored for days, President Trump still has made no effort to talk with him about sending in the National Guard to Chicago.
Sifting fact from fiction has been increasingly difficult because Donald Trump's administration is not working in coordination with the city of Chicago. Chicago, Cook County, or the state of Illinois.
Pritzker says Illinois State Police regularly work with the FBI, ATF, and DEA.
Under previous White House administrations, we regularly received notice and worked together on crime-fighting operations.
Maria Akita, KMOX News.
The Trump Department of Justice wants access to Missouri election equipment used in the 2020 election. At least 2 county clerks have been contacted, asked for access to election equipment made by Dominion Voting Systems to inspect it and possibly take physical custody. So far, those clerks have refused to comply, with one saying they don't even have that equipment anymore, although former Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is urging them to comply with the DOJ.
According to The Independent, a memo from the Missouri Association of County Clerks and Election Authorities has gone out to all county clerks in the state. Andrew McCoy Warner is the DOJ official making the inquiry. He was once West Virginia's Secretary of State and claimed the CIA and FBI colluded with Meta's Mark Zuckerberg to steal the 2020 election from Donald Trump.
It was one of the hottest new areas of the city when the May 16th tornado ripped through the Del Mar Maker District.
Definitely going to be a long journey for this area, as several businesses and several buildings will have to be demoed and completely rebuilt. Anytime there's a disaster like this, I think it's important to understand that it really is a neighbors helping neighbors situation.
Danny Eichenhorst with Hustle Hospitality Group says Saturday's Paint the Way Home is a public art healing project where more than 25 artists will be painting murals on large boards to beautify the area. She encourages people to come watch and have a bite to eat at her fountain on Del Mar or Steve's Hot Dogs or other businesses there that have reopened.
It's basically, a position that would be able to kind of handle these non-emergency type situations.
That's Crestwood's communications director, AJ McNaughton, who says the city contemplates hiring a park supervisor to deal with non-emergency type situations, including graffiti. KMOX wanted to know, why create this job now?
I believe we did have a position that was similar to this, and then just over time it was eliminated for one reason or the other. And now we've been, generally from the public, we, receive different comments, different, complaints from various patrons of the park.
McNaughton adds this will include all of Crestwood's 6 parks. Next Tuesday, September 9th, the Board of Aldermen will have a second reading of the bill. Let's turn our attention to baseball.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night, our UMB Champions Club broadcast, a key hit by Ivan Herrera in the 6th inning was called by Matt Pauley.
He's over 300 when runners in scoring position with 2 out. Hits this one hard to left center field. Soderstrom and Butler going back at the track, looking up at the wall. This one is gone. An Ivan Herrera home run, a 2-run shot. And just like that, the Cardinals turn a 1-run deficit into a 1-run lead. It's 2-1 Redbirds.
And the Cardinals made that stand up 2-1 for Miles Michaelis.
Nice call for Matt Cauley and nice at-bat for Ivan Herrera. A game that took only an hour and 55 minutes to play. That's the best we've seen Miles Michaelis in a long time against a very good Athletics lineup.
Matt Swanson in between Michaelis and the closer, Jojo Romero, did a good job. Jojo picked up his 6th save. And Matthew Liberatore will make the start tonight. Game time 6:45.
Ivan Herrera provides the offense in the Cardinals' 2-1 victory over the A's in the 6th inning. Herrera hits a 2-run home run, flipping the script as the Cardinals had been trailing by 1 run. Herrera's home run, his second in as many days, travels 414 feet and extends his hitting streak to 8 games. Manager Oliver Marmol really appreciates the season Herrera is having.
Not only the production we're seeing, but the conversation in the dugout when he makes an out and he comes in, he talks about his at bat and what he's trying to do and what the adjustment he's going to make for his next at bat. So he's done a really nice job of that. We're seeing how he's putting together a really good year.
The home run is Herrera's 6th go-ahead home run in the 6th inning or later this season, tied with Kyle Schwarber for most in the National League. At Busch Stadium, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
And Matt, that home run was hit off a sweeper. The Cardinals have had a lot of trouble hitting fastballs, and that was a topic on the Gas House Gang recently with Cardinals hitting coach Brant Brown.
I went and looked at the numbers, and that's absolutely correct. In terms of fastballs, 95 plus, you have some of the poorest offensive numbers in the majors. Look, why is that? Because fastballs are so prevalent. It's not like it's anything new, but why is this group, just as a whole, why does it struggle against the real blazing heat stuff?
Yeah, well, one, we've been telling them this for 2 months. 2 months. And the first time we told them, they argued the data and like, well, are we seeing more sliders with those fastballs? And we said, no, we are seeing more fastballs and we are not moving them forward. And we talked about like, how do we get better hitting fastballs? Well, we need to get on the machine. We need to ramp it up.
That is Brant Brown, the hitting coach. He was very open about what he tells the players, what their response to him has been, what the preparation has been. Very eye-opening conversation. Player to bank on. Ivan Herrera was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, invested in you. Wherever you get your podcast, Gas House Gang is a must. That was a very, very interesting interview. I would listen to the whole thing if I were you. If you really want to know what's going on, I thought he was very transparent and open. Brant Brown, along with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-day kitchen and bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-day kitchen and bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX.
7:21. We've got some sunshine in downtown St. Louis. It's going to be a hot day, but the last one for at least a while. That is on the way. But first, let's tell you what the traffic situation looks like. Roger Brand has the latest from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's busy on eastbound 70, Debbie, right around Highway Z all the way in through Highway K. It's kind of crowded and slow on eastbound Highway 70 right now. It's also heavy approaching our city into the Rock Road after that. Southbound 61 south of P down onto 64 to the Boulevard. East of 364 past Winghaven's backed up a couple of slow spots. 94 into the Boone Bridge and then around Clarkson again. Southbound 270 near 64. They're sending EMS, and that crash has been in the work zone for a while, but they're calling out EMS. No lane blockage, but delays south 270 back at 364. North 270 from north of 55 to Gravois, north of 44 up to Ladue is pretty busy. North 55, north of Merrimack, bottom to 270 is slow. Backed up Union to River to Pear. Northbound Telegraph still jammed. Christopher most of the way to Baumgartner. Open it up at the front end so they may have that crash cleared out of the roadway. Eastbound 44 downtown, heavy between the bridges. Westbound 64 slow at 3rd Street, and 5570 is backed up 162 down to Route 40. Next update is 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Very warm this afternoon, a high of 88. Some showers tonight, low 58. Chance of a thunderstorm. Tomorrow, pleasant and a high of 76. It's 59 right now, and the weather is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The news continues at 7:22. The killing of a St. Louis teenager on the grounds of her high school has resulted in an arrest more than a half a decade later.
26-year-old Marquise Quinn has been charged in the fatal shooting of 16-year-old Christina Curry, who was killed in the parking lot of Roosevelt High School in 2019. According to charging documents, Curry and Quinn had a romantic relationship, and Curry was pregnant, believing Quinn to be the father. The probable cause statement says Quinn texts Curry to meet him at Roosevelt High School on May 22, 2019. She was found dead in the exact meeting spot the next day. Asked what new evidence led them to an arrest, St. Louis police declined to share. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The case against Long Island, New York suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer may be dipping into precedent-setting territory with the use of advanced DNA techniques.
A judge in New York is expected to decide whether to allow what's called nuclear DNA evidence into a case against accused serial killer Rex Hoyerman. We get more from CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
What we expect is that the judge is going to determine what evidence is admissible and specifically whether or not the prosecution can introduce DNA evidence where they used a technique called whole genome sequencing.
The technology has been used in medicine, but never before in a New York criminal case. Defense attorneys have questioned its accuracy. Prosecutors believe they can use this technique to link the killing with a single strand of hair.
The prosecution is arguing that this may be a new technique in criminal courthouses in New York, but it's not a new technique in other areas, that it will soon be widely accepted in criminal courtrooms and that it's entirely reliable. The defense is arguing that this is essentially newfangled technology. It's not been adequately tested. It can't be relied upon.
The remains of at least 11 people have been discovered in connection with the Gilgo Beach investigation, but Hoyerman's only been charged with the murders of 7 victims.
The Houston man charged with murdering an 11-year-old boy who was playing Ding Dong Ditch is due in court today.
Police say Julian Guzman and his cousin knocked on Gonzalo Leon's door 3 times within 15 minutes. After the 3rd time, Leon allegedly followed the boys down the street and fired 2 shots.
Once into the ground, and then drew down and shot the young man in the back.
Harris County DA Sean Tier.
No reasonable person would be in fear for their life.
Police say Leon is an Army veteran. They found 20 guns and some smoke grenades in his home. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A major shift in Missouri demographics is looming.
On Aging says by the year 2030, older Missourians will outnumber minors for the first time. Missouri Council on Aging Director Stacy Morse says a new report includes input from thousands of Missourians about potential issues in the future.
Our hope is that the legislators and the governor, they're going to look at what did these 7,000 Missourians say that they thought was necessary for people to age well.
The report is available for public review and comment through mid-September. Sue Danielson, MissouriNet.
Experts at the Missouri Botanical Garden hope using artificial intelligence will cut years off their work.
It would take, many lifetimes of work, more than I would be able to say here.
Matthew Austin is curator of biodiversity data. The Botanical Garden is in the first year of a 6-year project to digitize its massive collection of plant specimens. The project pairs imaging of light reflections with artificial intelligence to design a model for identifying unknown plant species. Austin says it will hopefully make human work more efficient.
Instead of them every week being given, say, 10 boxes of specimens to identify, they're given only 1 box, which are the specimens that the model couldn't handle.
Austin anticipates sharing the technology with other institutions to create one worldwide system for plant identification. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
It's 7:27. The time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Well, AI can't help you here. You got a tree that has died in your front yard or your backyard. Who are you going to call to get that tree out of there? Who are you going to lean on? Of course, you're going to lean on Gamma Tree Experts since 1954. Frank Gamma started the business back then. Gamma Tree Experts today, the experts when it comes to maintenance, when it comes to tree removal. Removal of dead or undesirable trees is carried out carefully and professionally by the experienced staff at Gamma Tree Experts. Their staff will not compromise safety and will avoid any damage to your property. Gamma Tree Experts, fully insured for liability and property damage, and all employees are covered by workman's compensation. That's very important when you're talking about something as dangerous as removing a large tree from your home or commercial property. That is the company you want to lean on, Gamma Tree Experts, not a bunch of people who claim they can do it. Go with the people who are insured, who are trained, who are experts in that area. That would be Gamma Tree Experts for sure. They cover the entire St. Louis area, and they've been doing it for decades. Gamma Tree Experts. Your trees deserve the best care. GammaTree.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Charlie Brennan once again with Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler, is it possible we might say, oh, those kids are mumbling, when the problem really is our own inability to hear?
Exactly. Hearing is integral in everything that we do. It keeps us involved and embraced in life. Not hearing someone is never normal. Ringing in the ears is never normal. And when people have a hearing loss, oftentimes they complain that they can hear, but they cannot understand people. And avoiding getting a hearing aid can have long-term effects on the speech reception area of the brain. So what that means is if you test and treat the hearing loss early with a hearing aid, we can prevent a decline in the speech understanding that can happen if the hearing loss goes untreated.
The words of Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. 3 locations in St. Louis, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
It is 7:30, and right now we do have some sunshine, a few clouds, 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Let's check traffic. Roger Brands in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, if you're traveling on northbound 270 this morning, you have slow traffic north of 55 to Tesson Ferry, both sides of Gravois. As you approach 44, it's heavy bunched up stretches all the way up to Ladue. South 270, 364 down to Ladue is busy. That crash in the work zone not blocking anything, so it really hasn't gotten any worse there. Eastbound Highway 70, slow Wentzville Parkway all the way in through to about Lake St. Louis Boulevard. K to TR Hughes is a little slow. Mid Rivers up the hill to 370, and the Blanchette Bridge into the Rock Road all busy. Southbound 61, south of Highway P down to 64 at the Boulevard, east of 364 through Winghaven, 94 to the Boone Bridge from Boone's Crossing to about Timberlake, and then it's heavy again McKnight all the way in through almost McCausland. Westbound 64 Science Center to Hanley's heavy. South 170 delays at the Parkway. 364 east of Bryan Road to Mid Rivers. There's a couple of heavy stretches. Northbound 55 north of Merrimack bottom to 270 is busy at Jam from Union Road up to about Weber. Still heavy at River to Pear. Northbound Telegraph Christopher up through Ford are heavy pockets from an earlier crash. Eastbound 44 downtown, 55 over to the Musel Veterans Bridge, and westbound 64 Ball Avenue to the Poplars heavy. Next update is 740 from the Overhead Door Company at St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is going to be a hot day today, but the last hot day for quite some time. At least through the weekend, we'll be at 88 degrees today with sunshine followed by increasing clouds. And then we're looking at a couple of showers and a thunderstorm overnight that's going to move the hot temperatures out. So by tomorrow, we're looking at sunshine and 76, 74 as a high on Friday. It is 60 degrees now downtown.
It's 7:32. The fight is on to flip Missouri's 5th congressional district. Elisa Nelson reports the state legislature's special session begins today at the Missouri Capitol.
Republicans have their sights set on flipping Missouri's 5th congressional district in hopes of having 7 Republican-leaning districts in one Democratic stronghold. Governor Mike Kehoe has called a special session to change the districts to, quote, truly put Missouri values first, unquote. Kansas City Democrat Emmanuel Cleaver has represented the 5th District for nearly 21 years. Elisa Nelson, Missouri Net.
Missouri Governor Kehoe has rescinded all of his picks for the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department's Board of Commissioners. According to the governor's office, this move was made so that the Missouri Senate can focus on this redistricting and initiative petition reform instead of addressing the interim appointments. The decision has created some uncertainty, with St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer stating her office is seeking clarity on the situation to ensure clear lines of authority. Despite this, the police department has stated that Chief Robert Tracy will continue to oversee daily operations.
Jefferson County's upgraded 911 system is helping first responders get to emergency scenes quicker. System Chief John Whitehead told KMOX's Chris and Amy about how smartphones can be tracked.
So if you've got someone out in the woods and they don't know where they're at, maybe they get off the path, and this does happen occasionally. Now, instead of just knowing the generalized area that we can send responders to, we're going to be able to pinpoint with accuracy.
He said the text to 911 is also improving the way those with next-gen systems can respond to emergencies more efficiently.
University City has been dealing with flooding from the River Des Peres for years. Now there is a proposal for 106 townhomes near the river that has residents concerned because it would require cutting down 11 acres of trees and replacing soil with impermeable surfaces. At Tuesday's University City Stormwater Commission meeting, some residents said that unused portion of United Hebrew Cemetery should be used for parkland, not development. Connie Fry with the University Heights Flood Task Force tells the Business Journal they have incident after incident of flooding and the city isn't listening to them. She says it's all about the money. The U-City City Council will take up the Enclaves at Canton proposal at their next meeting on Monday.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We'll check your money report next.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
It is 7:35, time for your money report, which is sponsored this hour by Busey Bank.
Good morning. Walt Disney will have to pay $10 million to the Federal Trade Commission to settle allegations that it violated a federal children's privacy law by allowing kids to be targeted with online advertising. According to the complaint filed yesterday by the Department of Justice, by failing to correctly classify videos uploaded to its YouTube channels, Disney exposed children to data tracking without obtaining the parental consent required for such tracking under the FTC's Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule. Starbucks was among the big winners yesterday on Wall Street. Its shares rose nearly 2%, and now the company is unveiling new products on the way. Protein-boosted drinks will be added to the menu at the end of this month. And European defense companies are desperate to attract new workers as older ones near retirement. One German contractor has handed out condoms at recruitment events, packages bearing the company's logo and the message, "Safety counts, always and everywhere." With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Since we opened our doors in 1868, Busey has fostered deep customer relationships and vibrant communities, embodying a legacy of partnership and progress. With multiple lines of business, we provide a range of financial solutions tailored to your needs. From digital banking to planning for retirement, Busey is here to help you achieve your financial goals. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Fall planter at our DIY workshop at Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center. Learn to create your own fall fabulous planters for your porch or patio in our fall planter class. Our garden center provides different planter sizes to choose from, as well as organic Coast of Maine potting mix and a selection of beautiful fall flowers. Bring fall home with a porch or patio planter when you attend a DIY planter class in the garden center at Chesterfield Valley Nursery.
Week 1 of the NFL season starts tomorrow. Eagles, Cowboys. What a great start. Well, it's time to play underdog, and there is nothing like playing underdog with football back. Underdog's the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right here in Missouri. Playing on underdog is easy. You just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats. Saquon Barkley tomorrow night. How many touchdowns will he have? Rushing yards. How about on Friday for the Chiefs? Mahomes, Kelsey, what will they do against the Chargers in Brazil? Yeah, it's time to play underdog. Get your entries right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play with as little as $1. But here's the most important thing of all. When you download the app Underdog, you have to sign up with promo code TOM. That's going to get you $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_HTML for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, the Doobie Brothers, with special guests, the Coral Reefer Band. Live in concert. The Walk This Road Tour. This is a party you won't want to miss. The Doobies and the Reefers. Live this Thursday at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marmol joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 7:40 now. Bright sunshine. Seems like most of the clouds have moved out of downtown. It's going to be a sunny day. We'll get more on the forecast coming up from AccuWeather. But first, the latest from Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
A lot of traffic out there, Debbie. This traffic reports the service of FanDuel Sports Network. Southbound 61 is busy from Highway P down onto 64 to about the Boulevard, east of 364 through Winghaven, 94 to Research Park, Long Road to almost Timberlake, and then east of Lindbergh through the Interbelt. Westbound 64 from Kings Highway headed out to Hanley's pretty heavy. Eastbound Highway 70, Wentzville Parkway into 64 slow. Lake St. Louis to Bryan Road, K to TR Hughes, Mid Rivers to 370, and 94 into the Rock Road. Then new trouble, the crash in the left lane, eastbound 70 east of Lucas Hunt. Traffic's back up into Cool Valley, and emergency crews are headed that way. South 270, pretty busy from Page, 364 down to Obat Ladue. Eastbound 364 itself, Bryan Road most of the way to Mid Rivers is slow. Northbound 270 is a ramp on from 55 all the way to Ladue is busy. 44 eastbound Bowles to Miraz, northbound 55. South of Butler Hill to 270, slow, at least the right lanes. And approaching Revis up to River to Pears, heavy. 44 downtown, Jefferson over to the Poplar, and westbound 64, approaching 25th Street across the bridge is heavy. Cardinal fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your TV and streaming home of the Cardinals. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals or watch through your TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details. Next update is 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. What a beautiful forecast to come for Thursday through Sunday. Looks like we're going to have to dodge some rain, though, tonight.
We are. There's a front that's charging southward right now down through the northern plains, and it will reach us this evening. Out ahead of it, we're going to see a fair amount of sunshine between now and, say, mid-afternoon. That'll allow temperatures to get up to 88. Then late afternoon, those clouds will start to gather followed by a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Could be some brief downpours and gusty winds in the initial edge of these thunderstorms. Things start to settle down late tonight with a low of 58. Behind the front, clouds quickly give way to sun tomorrow. A noticeably cooler day with temperatures in the mid-70s. A second front comes through and it has a lot less water to work with. So as it moves through later Friday and early Friday night, there'll be clouds and a couple of showers, especially in the afternoon, evening, the high 74. But behind it, just some spectacular weather for the holiday or for the weekend, with sunshine Saturday up to 77, more sunshine Sunday, 75 degrees, the high on Sunday. 63 at St. Peter's, 65 in Florissant, and mostly sunny at 68 now downtown at the Arch. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is now 7:43. A California graduate student is getting ready to head to Spain later this month for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship. I didn't know that was a thing, but we learned more from CBS Bay Area reporter Sugi Nam.
I usually do 3 puzzles every evening after work, 3 500-piece puzzles.
It may look simple putting a puzzle together.
The secret is just to do a lot of puzzles.
But try doing it timed.
I try to get all of the easy parts out of the way. That way, when I get to the hard parts, there's like context to build around and I'm a little more familiar with the image.
Hannah Doyle is a professional speed puzzler. Her passion sparked about a year ago.
I had seen some coverage of speed puzzling competitions on YouTube.
Inspired, she picked up a 500-piece puzzle and timed herself.
My best time ever on a 500-piece is a little over 30 minutes.
That is when she pieced together her new hobby.
I have the puzzles kind of roughly organized by brand.
In her highly decorated puzzle room, Doyle has various 500 and 1,000-piece challenges.
The trophies I've gotten from various competitions.
Doyle placed second in nationals last year and most recently puzzled for 12 hours straight with her team, Girls in STEMP. The P stands for, you guessed it, puzzles. But this isn't her full-time gig. Doyle is a PhD student at UC Berkeley.
We're looking into ways that we can stimulate people's retinas with highly specialized laser systems.
Any free time she has goes straight to the puzzles.
It requires pretty remarkable visual acuity and a lot of manual dexterity.
Becca Taylor, the VP of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association, placed first in last year's World Championship. She, along with her teammate, represented the Bay Area.
The Bay Area had the highest representation of trophies geographically within the US. So we had trophies coming home in all 3 divisions, which was pretty great. I was very proud. The speed puzzling community in this area is bursting at the seams.
And she is supporting Doyle and other Bay Area puzzlers headed to the world's competition in Spain.
It's always possible to find something that you're passionate about, as long as you just keep trying new things and keep experimenting.
And she hopes she can be an inspiration to others who are searching for that piece of excitement in their lives.
All right, the puzzle that is the Cardinals' offense. How do you solve that? Hitting coach Brant Brown making an appearance on the Gas House Gang yesterday on KMOX, along with manager Ollie Marmol, telling us about the team's hitting approach being, well, a puzzle.
It's been a work in progress. I would say the one big thing moving forward is that we are really trying to change what our hitters value as a whole, and we're really trying to change how they go about their day in preparing to beat a pitcher each and every night. It's not there yet, and we are working diligently and every day, and sometimes it shows itself and sometimes it doesn't. But I think at the end of the day, just our constant message of trying to restructure like how they go about their day, what they value, and how to execute on a team level instead of an individual level, I'm hoping ultimately will just assist our offense and make it more productive.
Brant Brown on the Gas House Gang on KMOX. Wherever you find your podcast, the Gas House Gang should be part of your rotation. Subscribe to that. It's on KMOX every day at noon, and it's also streamed live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. The Cardinals only got one big hit yesterday. It was a 2-run shot from Ivan Herrera and KMOX's Matt Pauley. Fortunately, they had a good pitching performance.
Miles Michaelis pitches the Cardinals to a 2-1 victory over the A's. Using just 67 pitches, he goes 6 innings, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits. He does not record a single strikeout, and his only walk is intentional. Manager Oliver Marmol likes Michaelis' approach.
We know these guys are aggressive. We saw it yesterday. He's on the attack, 15 of the 22 ball in play. We're in 3 pitches or less. I mean, he had a 3-pitch inning, 4 first pitch outs. So all that plays into a really low pitch count. Made pitches when needed. The changeup was a good pitch for him today. Got the ground ball to Butler there for the double play. Got a couple other outs with it. But overall, man, did a really nice job. Some of the hard contact right at people. And it led to 6 really good innings.
The 3-pitch 4th inning is just the 4th 3-pitch inning for a Cardinals pitcher since pitch tracking became official. At Busch Stadium, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Now, Miles Michaelis is a fisherman, and I think he would really like the fishing at Innsbruck. Ins and Outs sponsored by Innsbruck Resort, where every day is the weekend. They have they have 100 lakes, okay, over 7,500 acres, 100 lakes where you can fish. One of the biggest is Aspen, where Audrey caught a monster catfish. She said that catfish is as big as my arm. It was actually bigger than that. It was an amazing catch by Audrey, our youngest daughter. You can also catch crappie, bluegill. You know, they love to fight, sunfish as well. But, you know, I'm on the hunt for bass, like big bass. And Innsbruck has those, a plethora of those. You just got to know where they are. Got to go find them. Innsbruck's a great place to fish. Now, on top of that, it's a great place to play golf. It's a great place to hike, to boat, to just relax with family and friends. It's a beautiful, beautiful resort and layout located in Warren County, right here in the St. Louis area. Innsbruck-resort.com. Innsbruck-resort.com. Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
I think the key is recognizing symptoms and not ignoring them to say, oh, I think that's going to go away. So I highly encourage anyone who's listening, if they're having abnormal bleeding or hasn't seen their gynecologist in a while, to really make that appointment to ensure that you're getting the best health.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
The legendary sound of the Doobie Brothers is rolling into town. Don't miss the show. Coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, September 4th, with special guest, the Coral Reefer Band. It's a night of timeless hits, epic harmonies, and classic rock energy like only the Doobies can deliver. Tickets are still available and can be found at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, head to KMOX.com/events.
Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 7:50, and it's time for us to get another check of traffic and weather. And we start with Roger Brand, who's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's pretty busy on the area highways, Debbie. If you're traveling on eastbound Highway 70, I mentioned a crash at east of Lucas Hunt that was in the left lane. Now, first of all, coming in from out west, it's still busy Wentzville Parkway, really all the way through T.R. Hughes. It's bogged down again east of 94 to 270, and then a jam from almost 170 because of that crash just past Lucas Hunt. Eastbound 364, approaching Bryan Road into Mid Rivers and across the Veterans Bridge, you got heavy traffic. Southbound 61 backed up at Wentzville Parkway on the 64, pockets through Winghaven, 94 through Research Park, long road to about Timberlake, and east of Spady, that's pockets through the Inner Belt. South 170 is bogged down from Page to 64. Westbound 64 backs up Kings Highway, headed out through Big Bend. South 270 about Dorset to Ladou's, heavy. North 270 north of 55, but more stop-and-go stuff between 44 and Manchester. Big End, it's busy all the way to Ladue. 44 east of Bowles, a little heavy. Northbound 55, the right lane's at Butler Hill. North of Lindbergh, it's pockets all the way up through Virginia. 44 past 55 out onto westbound 70, past the Mutual Veterans Bridges, slow, really pockets all the way around the bend at O'Fallon Park, and then a little back up through Jennings Station looking at that eastbound crash. And westbound 64 is heavy from 25th Street to the bridge. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Weather forecast. AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg says a nice day today, a little warm perhaps, but we're looking at a high of 88. Then we drop down to 58 because we're going to get some rain overnight. And then for Thursday through Sunday, temperatures in the mid 70s, chance of rain on Friday afternoon, otherwise sunny and pleasant. Right now it's sunny, 63 downtown at the Arch.
It is 7:52. The Del Mar Maker District continues to clean up and recover from the May 16th tornado. Danny Eichenhorst is the CEO of Hustle Hospitality Group, which runs Steve's Hot Dogs and the Fountain on Del Mar, among other businesses.
The Del Mar Maker District is coming back. A lot of the businesses have reopened. Of course, there's a lot that are not going to be able to reopen for quite some time, which is part of why we are working to beautify the district right now. You know, it's a district that is coming along month by month as we recover from the tornado. We'll get a little bit cleaned up or a business reopen, but it's definitely going to be a long journey for this area, as several businesses and several buildings will have to be demoed and completely rebuilt.
It does feel like, from what I'm hearing from a lot of people, as they wait for insurance companies or wait for federal help, that it's really coming down to neighbors helping neighbors.
Anytime there's a disaster like this, I think it's important to understand that it really is a neighbors helping neighbors situation. From the moment that the tornado hit, we were on the ground feeding people. Other neighbors were out doing cleanup. And it's going to be a long journey of us helping each other and people intentionally supporting the businesses in that area to make sure that they can make it through this recovery. You know, FEMA doesn't do a ton for small businesses, and so it really does take people intentionally coming out to support them, because insurance won't cover sort of the damage to the neighborhood and the loss of momentum that happens in the wake of a disaster like this. So it's really going to be about people intentionally going out of their way to support these areas that were damaged to ensure that they can make it through to the other side.
What's happening on Saturday?
On Saturday, we are hosting the Paint the Way Home mural event. There is a plaza directly across from us at 5221 Del Mar. It's sort of the Legacy East Plaza, and the entire plaza is covered in boards right now. It will be coming down by the end of the year, and they will have to rebuild it. But for now, we thought it would be great to add in some art, just a little bit of vibrancy in the neighborhood. A lot of people have reached out offering to paint, so we've got 27 different spots in that area that we are going to have being painted on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Del Mar. So we want to encourage people to come out and watch. We've got most of the boards are spoken for by local artists. A lot of them are the artists that helped do the painting for Peace in Ferguson after the fact. And so we've got a lot of those artists coming back again. We do have 3 spots available if anybody wants to sign up, and they can go to steveshotdogsstl.com/paintdelmar, and there they can find a way to sign up and grab a spot if they'd like to paint with us.
Once all these boards are painted, then where do they go?
We are going to leave them up for a couple of months, and then when the when the building is demolished, we're going to take those down and make them part of a local art exhibit with Herb Arts on Del Mar.
All right, fantastic. So maybe a space for a couple more artists, but otherwise people are more than encouraged to come in and watch the art in action.
Yes, absolutely. Come by, come see, come celebrate, and come support those businesses. You know, Made Makerspace, the Magic House, Third Degree Glass Factory, Steve's Hot Dogs, the Fountain on Del Mar. All of these businesses will be open on Saturday as well. So we want to encourage people to come out and dine, shop, support, explore the Del Mar Maker District, and give it a little bit of a boost as we work towards recovery.
Danny Eichenhorst with Hustle Hospitality Group at 7:56.
I'm Maria Kina. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Hey, this is a message for those of you who are a sandwich generation person. You're taking care of your kids. You're trying to take care of your parents or parent. It can be really hard. Maybe that parent needs some extra help. They don't want to leave their home. They want to age in place. You're stuck trying to figure it all out, making tons of phone calls. Who can I trust? Well, let me tell you, it's Ever True Anywhere Care. Ever True Anywhere Care. Yes, you know them because they are formerly known as Lutheran Senior Services. So you may be familiar with their local life plan communities, But you may not know that they've been providing at-home options for older adults for nearly 20 years. So you need this phone number, 314-597-6498. Give them a call because they can help with things like specialized therapies, physical, occupational, speech. They have licensed nursing care. They can help with everyday tasks around the house, maybe meal prep, housekeeping, running errands. They do professional care management, end-of-life care, bereavement. They have a whole list of services that will help your loved one age in place the way they would like to. You can get more information online by going to evertrueanywherecare.org. That's evertrueanywherecare.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Megan Lynch is next. First, here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's still slow time on northbound 270, ramping on from 55. It's bumper to bumper 44 through Doherty Ferry, still busy up to Ladue. South 270 approaching Dorset down through Ladue is still heavy. Northbound 55, the right lane still slow. South of Butler Hill to 270. From Rivas all the way up through Virginia, some pretty busy traffic. 44, a little slow approaching Mraz. And then again, from Lindbergh all the way into Laclede Station, there's busy pockets. On the Illinois side, westbound 64 from 25th Street to the Poplar, slow. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers in the House are scheduled to hold a news conference next hour with Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims. It comes a day after a committee released thousands of pages of Justice Department documents on the investigation. Correspondent Nicole Killian reports.
Some of the women who claim they were groomed and abused by the convicted sex offender met for 2.5 hours with House Speaker Mike Johnson and the oversight panel. The speaker is under pressure to hold a vote to compel the Justice Department to publicly release the Epstein files in full.
Most of the information released yesterday was already public. In Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping showed off a new generation of weapons at a massive military parade marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. He was flanked by Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Xi warned through an interpreter.
The Chinese nation is the great nation that is never intimidated by any bullies.
President Trump responded in a social media post accusing China, Russia, and North Korea of conspiring against the U.S. New wildfires are raging in California this morning. One has already burned down homes in the historic gold rush town of Chinese Camp, northeast of Modesto. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti.
9 wildfires in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Stanislaus counties have combined into the now dubbed TCU September Lightning Complex, burning more than 12,000 acres in total. The growing inferno fanned by strong winds gusting 50 miles an hour and 100-degree temperatures.
A new cryptocurrency has boosted the Trump family's wealth.
The Trumps control the crypto platform World Liberty Financial, whose new cryptocurrency, WLFI, started trading Monday. The Trumps hold 22.5 billion WLFI tokens worth about $5 billion. CBS News estimates other crypto ventures controlled by the family, including Trump and Melania meme coins,
The World Liberty Financial token sale is now live.
have made $765 million in revenue from token sales since last fall. Some watchdog groups have raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Google's avoided the stiffest penalties it was facing in an antitrust case, but a federal judge has ordered a makeover. Tech contributor Ian Scher.
For Google, this ruling effectively allows the company to continue running its business the way it has, though it can't set exclusivity agreements anymore, and it'll have to share more data publicly.
Dow futures are down 109. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit progressive.com today.
It's 8:03. We have sunny skies, 63 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Wednesday, September 3rd. The news sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. I'm Megan Lynch. The fight is on to flip Missouri's 5th congressional district. Elisa Nelson reports the state legislature's special session begins today at the Missouri Capitol.
Some Republicans have their sights set on flipping Missouri's 5th congressional district in hopes of having 7 Republican-leaning districts in 1 Democratic stronghold. Governor Mike Kehoe has called a special session to change the districts to, quote, truly put Missouri values first, unquote. MissouriNet asked the governor what he means.
I think that Speaker Johnson is representative of Missouri values.
Kansas City Democrat Emmanuel Cleaver has represented the 5th District for nearly 21 years, and some of the Republicans who support the changes are his friends.
The worst part of this is people that I know and like are going to probably have to, in their minds, follow what the president has ordered.
Elisa Nelson, MissouriNet.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe has withdrawn all his appointments to the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners.
The move is being called temporary to allow the Missouri Senate to focus on the upcoming special session on redistricting. State law requires the Senate to address interim appointments within 30 days. So the withdrawal prevents a time-sensitive issue from interfering with the special session. Governor Mike Kehoe plans to renominate the same 5 people after the session with the goal of having them voted on during the regular legislative session. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer has raised concerns about the uncertainty the decision creates, but the police department has stated that Chief Robert Tracy will continue to oversee daily operations. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
A number of new restaurants and businesses had opened their doors in the up-and-coming Delmar Maker District when the May 16th tornado devastated the area. Danny Eichenhorst with HUSDL Hospitality Group says some buildings will need to be demolished, and it'll be a while before others can reopen.
FEMA doesn't do a ton for small businesses. Insurance won't cover sort of the damage to the neighborhood and the loss of momentum that happens in the wake of a disaster like this.
She says it's really neighbor helping neighbor. Her company's Fountain on Delmar and Steve's Hot Dogs have reopened. Saturday's Paint the Way Home event is a public art healing project with more than 25 artists painting murals on boards to beautify the area. She encourages people to come out and watch and patronize businesses that have reopened. More on what could be an historic move in Wildwood.
It's been a long debate, says Councilman Michael Galani.
We're wasting time. We're causing unnecessary duress to the business people that are coming here.
Over whether to give tax breaks totaling more than $3 million to build apartments to fill in what's been undeveloped green space in the city's town center. It would be the first time Wildwood has given tax breaks to a developer. Council members Katie Dodwell.
Have any of you come to any of the businesses here in town center? Have you talked to the owners of the businesses in town center? Do you know how difficult it is for them to get business?
And Councilwoman Deborah Smith McCutcheon.
I'm in town center, at least 3 times a day for something or the other. I shop in town center. I support town center.
Continued the debate. After delaying their vote last month, it is expected back on the Wildwood agenda for next Monday's meeting. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
University City has been dealing with flooding from the river to Pear for years. Now there's a proposal for 106 townhomes near the river that has residents concerned It would require cutting down 11 acres of trees and replacing soil with impermeable surfaces. At Tuesday's University City Stormwater Commission meeting, some residents said the unused part of United Hebrew Cemetery should be used for parkland, not development. Connie Fry with the University Heights Flood Task Force tells the Business Journal they have incident after incident of flooding, and the city isn't listening. She says it's all about the money. The U City Council will take up the Enclaves at Canton proposal at their next meeting on Monday. St. Louis County starting to knock down vacant and derelict homes in Castle Point 3 years after committing $11 million to do so.
Red tape and federal guidelines delayed demolition, according to County Executive Sam Page. Now with the first homes coming down, Page says the county hopes to have new homes constructed on these lots about a year after the properties have been bid out, which will come later.
Once you have control and ownership of a vacant lot, it takes about a year to get the permits, get the site prepared, get your contractors lined up.
Funding for the demolition of around another 140 homes is still available. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
It's now 8:08. We'll check traffic and weather in 2 minutes.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. We honor the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum for using the history and lessons of the Holocaust to reject hatred, promote understanding, and inspire change. Visitors to the museum are empowered to translate the history of the Holocaust into meaningful action to make our community stronger. Visit the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum in person and online at stlholocaustmuseum.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey. Building Community is creating bridges that bring people together. A visit to the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum reminds us that by rejecting hatred and embracing understanding, everyone feels safe, valued, and connected. A community where everyone thrives is what Building Community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
It's 8:10. Let's see what's happening on the roads now. Here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
No, we're still busy, Megan, on eastbound Highway 70 from Lake St. Louis Boulevard all the way in through T.R. Hughes from the Blanchette into the Rock Road, and still a little slow. Hanley in through Lucas Hunt where he had that earlier crash. Eastbound 364 east of K is a little off the pace, and then, of course, approaching Bennington. Southbound 61 pretty well cleared out. 64 a little slow at the Boulevard. 364 through Wing Haven's heavy. From Long Road all the way past Clarkson's busy. From 270 all the way in through the Interbelt, just a lot of slow stuff. South 170 north of Page down through Delmar Parkway to 64 is busy. Westbound 64 backs up Science Center out through Clayton Skinker, slow to Big Bend, and west of McKnight out through Spady's pretty slow. South 270 north of Dorset, a crash on the shoulder, a little heavy there. 364 down to Ladou's, heavy after that. North 270, we have a crash in the left lane just north of Gravois, so traffic's backed up near 55, and then it's still slow north of there all the way to Ladue. 44 approaching Lindbergh all the way into the Cleat Station, and southwest through Hampton's heavy. Right lanes of 55 around Butler Hill, all lanes. Union Road up through Loughborough, downtown, eastbound 44 from the Poplar out on the 70 past the McKinley Bridge is heavy, and 64 from the 70 split to the Poplar is slow. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The Illinois Secretary of State wants to know how much you are paying for auto insurance. We're going to talk to him next here on KMOX. First, though, let's get the forecast.
KMOX AccuWeather. Sunshine today will give way to increasing clouds. Very warm this afternoon with a high of 88.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm moving through, though 58. Tomorrow, increasing amounts of sunshine and cooler, but quite nice, the high 76. For Friday, changeable skies with a couple of showers, especially in the afternoon, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have sunny skies now, 65 degrees in Florissant, 63 in St. Peters, and downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. The Illinois Secretary of State wants to hear your horror stories about high auto insurance rates. Alexi Giannoulias is hosting a virtual town hall meeting for Metro East residents tonight. Secretary, thank you so much for joining us this morning here on KMOX.
Thanks for having me. Hope you're doing great.
We are doing well. I'm wondering why your office is getting involved with this issue of auto insurance.
Well, it's a road safety issue, and what we've heard from people across the state is that the skyrocketing costs of car insurance has become completely unaffordable. And when you factor in that these car insurance companies are using data that doesn't include oftentimes your driving record, they become more infuriating. So what we've discovered is these car insurance companies use socioeconomic factors like your credit score, your age, or your zip code to determine your car insurance rates, not your driving record, which we think is it's against an economic justice issue. It's patently unfair. To give you an idea, a safe driver with a poor credit score will pay more than a driver with a DUI who has excellent credit, about $862 less per year. Those living in predominantly minority zip codes pay at least 10 times more than those living in non-minority zip codes with the same driving record, excuse me. And as far as age, a 70-year-old driver pays 12% more than a 60-year-old driver with the exact same driving record, and a 75-year-old would pay about 25% more. So we're trying to fight back against these car insurance companies. Again, this is an economic justice issue. It's a road safety issue. And to really answer your question, it's about road safety for us. As someone who's in charge of keeping our roads and highways safe, to give you an idea, last year alone in 2024, we cited over 630,000 drivers in Illinois alone for driving without auto insurance. And the predominant reason for that is because it's unaffordable. That makes our highways less safe, our roads less safe, and it creates a dangerous culture.
Well, I can tell you anecdotally, my mom had her car totaled by someone who ran into her, who was not insured. Not long after, it happened again to her. So, I'm wondering if you have seen a direct correlation between high auto insurance rates and the number of uninsured motorists on the road.
Yeah, unequivocally. Like I said, that number, when we tell people that, and those are the people that we cited, those are the people that we discovered, right? 630,000 people driving without car insurance is unacceptable. And again, uninsured drivers are a road safety issue that impacts all of us. Driving while uninsured can result in traffic citations, court costs, reinstatement fees, suspension of the vehicle registration and or a driver's license. And I think our message is, why don't these car insurance companies base the premiums on someone's ability to drive a vehicle? Why should people be punished because they live in a less desirable neighborhood? That's patently unfair. It's un-American. And that's why we're working so hard to pass this legislation. I will tell you that the feedback has been overwhelming. We've been doing these town halls, and hundreds of people are joining and telling us their story. So we tried legislation. These car insurance companies defeated it time and again. So now we're going directly to the people. That's why tonight's town hall, virtual town hall, is so enormously important. We need to hear these stories, these anecdotes. We want to hear about people's challenges. We're recording these stories, and we're going to present to the legislature to hopefully get something done here in Illinois.
You're listening to Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias. I have to note, though, State Farm in July said it was actually lowering auto insurance rates by about 6 to 15%, depending on the customer. Do you feel like insurance companies are starting to listen at all?
We have not heard one instance where that's the case. To give you another example, from 2023 to 2024, car insurance rates in Illinois jumped 18%. Again, nothing would make me happier than car insurance rates to drop, but this is squeezing families at a time when affordability is already a huge challenge for our families, for our seniors. And again, if you are a safe driver, you've never had a speeding ticket, you've never had a DUI, you've never done anything wrong, you follow the rules, but you live in a zip code that's less desirable, or you've had credit issues, why should you be paying $800 more than someone who lives in a nice neighborhood who has a DUI?
Where should our Illinois listeners go to if they want to take part in your virtual town hall tonight?
So our website's Illinois or www.ils.gov/driving change. www.ils.gov/driving change. It's at 6 p.m. this evening. We're encouraging folks to come on, tell us their story, tell us what's on their mind, and we're going to try to come up with some meaningful solutions to really help Illinois families.
While I have you, just a minute or two left here, I'd like to get the latest on the license plate reader audit that has been underway. I understand that there were some concerns about Department of Homeland Security use of that data in Illinois. Where does that stand at this point?
Yes, great question. So the other major issue that we're working on, where we were noticing, and let me just tell you, let me step back, protecting people's private data, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, is an enormously important issue. And I will tell you, the automatic license plate readers are useful. Okay, they are a useful tool for law enforcement when it comes to apprehending suspects in violent crimes or recovering stolen vehicles and carjackings, but we cannot allow them to erode fundamental rights, disregard moral decency, to ignore constitutional protections, or to prosecute innocent people. So what we discovered is we had passed a law a couple of years ago through our office to make sure that automatic license plate readers weren't being used for illicit purposes, like tracking women who come into Illinois for legal abortions or for other reasons. And we found through an audit that we conducted that one of the companies was working with, let me rephrase that. The Texas law enforcement agency was asking information for a woman who was seeking an abortion. We had an audit. We discovered that they were working with Customs and Border Patrol, and so an investigation is taking place. We're looking into it, and we will fix this situation.
That is Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir.
Thanks for having me. We hope to see everyone tonight.
All right. Coming up next on Total Information AM, St. Louis is revamping its zoning laws. We're going to find out more about that before 9 o'clock. A U.S. appeals court is ruling that most of President Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal. KMOX legal analyst Brad Young is going to sort that out for us. But next, it's the 30th anniversary of eBay. We're going to talk with tech contributor Ian Scher. Let's get a check of the roads now with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we have a crash still out there on northbound 270. This traffic reports a service to the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. It's northbound 270, just north of Gravois. Left lane still shut down, so northbound 270 is jammed back to almost 55. And then north of there, it's still backed up 44 to Big Bend and slow all the way up to Ladue. South 270 coming down through Dorset toward 364, still heavy. We had a crash on the shoulder there, all down to Ladue, still a little slow. Eastbound 70, just kind of busy. K to TR Hughes, Earth City into the Rock Road, and still a little slow coming up to Cool Valley Hill through Bermuda because of an earlier crash. 64 eastbound, east of 364 through Wing Haven's heavy from Long Road all the way to Clarkson's busy, Spady all the way through the Interbelt, South 170 Bogstown and Olive, westbound 64, Science Center out to Hanley's heavy, northbound 55, the right lane still a little slow, approaching Mattis, Union Road up through Virginia's heavy, and it's slow approaching the Poplar, westbound 64, still a couple of heavy spots from the 70 split onto the bridge as well. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
We'll see more clouds as we head through the day. It'll be warm this afternoon. We're expecting a high of 88 degrees. Right now, we have sunny skies 63 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
If you are getting ready to sell your home, you need to know that the realtor you choose matters. You need to choose, or at least call and talk about your situation with Gloria Liu at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Why? Because you'll get real results. Any realtor can put a sign in your yard and then walk away and hope it sells. But Gloria makes buying and selling so simple because she has 24,000 plus buyers in waiting. So your home may already be sold. She'll sell your home for top dollar. She'll boost your profits. She'll sell it quickly. Gloria is closing on a home just about every other day, unlike other agents who may average 4 or 5 home sales a year. And Gloria Liu will guarantee in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or she will pay you the difference. As always, seller and Gloria must agree on price and possession date. Give her a call. In Baldwin, the Garcias sold fast. They earned thousands extra. The Smiths in Chesterfield, they got multiple offers in just a week. Find out what Gloria Liu can do for you. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer online. Get NordVPN today with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic and help you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. Get the special NordVPN deal today at NordVPN.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on NordVPN.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're back with Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. Well, eBay pioneered the online auction site. Guess what? It's now 30 years old. We're joined this morning by CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher. Ian, how did eBay really change how we buy and sell online?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a world without eBay, honestly. Before Amazon was the thing that a lot of people used to buy stuff, it really was eBay. And, there was all sorts of stuff people would buy. I remember even back when it was just starting, people were finding all sorts of either trinkets that were hard to find, or even doing baby clothes swaps, right? And buying and selling used baby clothes. All sorts of stuff was happening there. And it became such a cultural kind of force that as you go on, you start seeing it pop up in movies and in TV shows. And even, of course, one of my favorite moments, Weird Al Yankovic's ode to eBay, set to the NSYNC song.
So, one thing that I think about eBay is it really helped to grow the green economy with that resale that you mentioned.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why it had such an impact, is that it really seemed to touch just right on this idea of, there is value in the junk around your home that you don't see value in. And maybe you can actually take care of it. It also coincided with some really interesting moments when you think about it, right? Generationally, there were a lot of people who were doing collecting of cards and coins and trinkets and Hummels and all type of stuff. And at one point, those people are kind of sick and tired of it, or they're starting to downsize, or they're just trying to find a way to get rid of it because everyone in the family is complaining. And eBay was that place. So oftentimes, I remember seeing billboards popping up everywhere at one point, sell your random collections on eBay. And there were even people who became professional eBay resellers, right? Literally, their jobs were just to sit there in a store figure out what the value of something was and then try to sell it on eBay and make a profit. And it was enough for businesses to run, at least for a while.
Is it still relevant?
I think what's interesting is that even though Amazon has certainly become the name that a lot of people think about online shopping, and also Best Buy and Walmart and Target and all these others have gotten so much better at online retail. You have to remember that when eBay was starting back before the year 2000, online retail was just a pipe dream, right? Most people were not buying and selling stuff online. And so, in a lot of ways, yes, it's still relevant. It's got a massive, kind of group of people using it, but it is certainly not what it used to be. That said, I remember, just personally, I had to have something appraised recently, and I was pretty impressed that the moment that I got the documentation back, one of the things that supported the appraisal was recent sales on eBay. So even if I'm not using it personally, it's still a tool that professionals are using in some way.
CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
I use eBay for Francoma pottery. I collect it, and that's where I find some awesome pieces. So I'd be interested to know how many people actually do still go on there on a regular basis. It's a great place to find Legos as well. Well, it is now 8:28. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. JerryKelly.com.
My husband and sister-in-law are caregivers to a mom with Alzheimer's, and I have watched them make some pretty difficult decisions, especially over the last year as the disease has progressed. And that's why I'm once again taking part in the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. Mark your calendar. It's Saturday, October 25th at Chesterfield Amphitheater and Central Park. Then go to alz.org/walk to sign up. You know what? Last year, you raised more than $1.3 million to support Alzheimer's and dementia care support and research programs. And those research efforts are really creating some breakthroughs. In just the last couple of years, treatments have become available that address the underlying biology of the disease rather than the symptoms. And researchers are hoping it's going to be a real game changer for people who are in the early stage of Alzheimer's. The St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's isn't just an opportunity to fundraise, though. It's really a great chance to just connect with some other families who are facing the same challenges. So I hope you'll join me Saturday, October 25th, Chesterfield Amphitheater in Central Park. Register today at alz.org/walk. Again, that's alz.org/walk.
Hi, it's Margaret from Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. I've worked with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano for more than 30 years. Their guidance and assistance with my estate planning and legal documents gives me the peace of mind that I have the retirement I've worked for and always dreamed of. And I'm playing it fully with my grandchildren, volunteering, and traveling worldwide. I play confidently knowing my estate is secured in any event. You can get your estate secured with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano too. Visit their website, yourestatemasters.com, and download their free webinar on how to get started. Then make a free appointment. Your estate matters because you matter. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, yourestatemasters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be made solely on advertising.
8:30, time for another check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, this traffic report is a service of Chesterfield Fence and Deck. If you're traveling up 270 right now, we had that crash north 270. It's still in the left lane just north of Gravois, so traffic is jammed just north of 55, and it's still pockets north of there from 44 all the way up to Ladue. South 270 backs up north of Dorset. There was a crash near Dorset that was on the shoulder when I saw it, but there's still congestion in the area there. If you're on eastbound Highway 70, you've just got a little slow traffic 270 into the Rock Road. There's a little backup Hanley through Cool Valley because of an earlier crash. Eastbound 64 still bogged down east of Winghaven briefly, east of Boone's Crossing through Clarkson, and from Lindbergh, stop-and-go pockets through the Interbelt. South 170 bogs down at Olive. Westbound 64 Science Center to Hanley's heavy. Northbound 55 North of the Union Road overpass up to River to Pears, backed up westbound 64 from the 70 split across the Poplar is also still slow. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today. Now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. Next updated 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that forecast for today, we are looking for increasing clouds. It'll be a warm afternoon with a high of 88. Mostly cloudy overnight, showers and thunderstorms possible, a low of 58. Right now, sunny, 63 downtown at the Arch. President Trump has promised to impose hefty import taxes on pharmaceuticals from other countries and is asking companies to shift their drug manufacturing to the United States. Let's look at the pros and cons with KMOX business analyst Jerome Katz, professor in the Chaffetz School of Business at St. Louis University. So, Jerry, first off, what impact could this have on consumers?
Well, in the short run, it's going to probably have some impact on prices and possibly on shortages. So much of our drugs, particularly generic drugs and a lot of ingredients for the name brand drugs, comes from overseas. So if those get hefty tariffs slapped on them, that's going to have an immediate effect on the drug prices that a lot of us generic drug takers will be paying, and also what our insurance companies will be paying. So premiums may be going up too.
So let's turn to the pharmaceutical industry itself in the United States. What impact could this have on them?
Well, the idea is to increase manufacturing of pharmaceuticals in the U.S. The big operators like Roche and Johnson & Johnson are already committing tens of billions of dollars to expand their production in the U.S., and this will probably encourage them to do even more, as well as for their American competitors to do more. I think that's going to be part of it, but I would not be shocked to discover a congressional effort to give more tax breaks to the big companies for their building, or as we've seen in recent weeks, literally have the government take financial stakes in these companies as a way to help fund these American build-outs.
You hinted at this. I can't imagine that any of this short term could be easy.
No, it's not going to be. It's not as bad as you might think. What's interesting is that the amount of meds Americans take is highly predictable. And in fact, most of the big American drug makers and drug retailers have anywhere from 12 to 18 months supplies of most pharmaceuticals. So they can literally draw down on their inventories and sidestep paying tariffs for literally a year at least. So it may not have an immediate impact on everyone as long as we can still go to those supplies.
And I guess, again, an important thing to note is that this actually hasn't been put in place yet.
And remember, as we've said before, Trump's first book was The Art of the Deal. And think of how often he comes out with an outrageous first offer, and 200% tariffs are an outrageous first offer as a basis for negotiating, wheeling, and dealing. So expect to see the rates go down more dramatically for some others, all sorts of carve-outs. This is just the first salvo in what is going to be a protracted tariff negotiation.
That is KMOX business analyst Jerome Katz, professor in the Chaffetz School of Business at SLU. Thank you so much for your time.
Have a great week.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
8:37, time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's Kimberly Adams.
Good morning. The White House plans to ask the Supreme Court for an expedited ruling in hopes of overturning a federal court decision that many of the president's tariffs were illegally imposed. The president told reporters that the U.S. would appeal the high court for relief as soon as today, saying it would be devastation for our country if the appeals court was left in place. Trump said it is essential to keep his trade policy intact. Target will try to rebound today after its shares fell the most since last month. The decline happened after the American Federation of Teachers endorsed a boycott against the retailer's decision to end some diversity programs due to pressure from conservative activists and the U.S. government. Starbucks was among the big winners yesterday, though. Its shares rose nearly 2%. Starbucks company-owned stores rang up record sales for the first week now that pumpkin spice lattes and other fall favorites were back on the menu. On Wall Street, the day ended with the major averages down, losses ranging from 0.5% to 0.8%. With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness. And Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important. Promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs, attorneys, and for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based on advertising.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit lombardohomes.com for more information.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Now through September 1st, the Labor Day sale is going on at Zero Res. 3 rooms for $119, plus a free hallway and $75 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Sunny and 63 at 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Missouri lawmakers heading into a special session today to address the state's congressional boundaries. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker continues to insist federal intervention is not required or wanted in Chicago. And a U.S. appeals court says most of Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal. I'll talk with KMOX legal analyst Brad Young about that next. Let's get the latest on the roads first, though. We've had that problem on northbound 270. We check in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, we've got good news there, Megan, at least. As traffic reports the service of FanDuel Sports Network, they cleared that crash. It was north 270 at Gravel in the left lane. Traffic still backed up at 55 to that point. It's still slow north of 44 to Ladue. South 270, Olive to Ladue, a little busy. Eastbound 70, a little slowdown approaching TR Hughes. Earth City into the Rock Road. There's a jam 170 through to about Bermuda. Looks like we have a crash. So there's a westbound slowdown at that point as well. Eastbound 64, a brief backup through Clarkson, and from pretty much 270 all the way to Big Bend, it's heavy. South 170 delays at Delmar. Westbound 64, Science Center out to Hanley is heavy as well. Northbound 55 a little slow. Bayless up to River to Pear. Westbound 64 downtown. West of 3rd Street to the Poplar is still heavy. Southbound Route 3, 270 most of the way down to West Pontoon is pretty backed up. And northbound 141, Centurion to 44, and north of Clayton Road up to 64. A lot of congestion there as well. Cardinals FanDuel Sports Network is your TV and streaming home of the Cardinals. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals or watch through your TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We are starting out with sunny skies, but we'll see more clouds as the day goes on. Warm this afternoon, a high of 88. Right now, sunny skies, 67 downtown at the Arch. You're back with Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. We have seen more court rulings that could upend Trump administration policies. With me this morning, KMOX legal analyst Brad Young, partner at Harris, Dow, Fisher & Young. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, Megan.
So the latest is a federal court in California has ruled that the Trump administration violated federal law when it deployed members of the National Guard and active duty U.S. Marines to Los Angeles earlier this summer. What reason did the judge give in that case?
Well, this was a single district court judge in Northern California, Megan, and the judge ruled that the Trump administration's deployment of National Guard troops violated what's called the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. Now, this was based on not just the theory of whether Trump can deploy the National Guard troops, which was previously decided, and that he could, but this was based on what the troops actually did. And the court found that that President Trump's deployment of the National Guard violated this act because the actual National Guard troops were being used in crowd control, for traffic blockades. They were being used for arrests and detentions, and also riot control and surveillance. And all of that violated the Posse Comitatus Act, which prevents the nationalization of National Guard troops for use in crime control.
Okay, so that begs the question, where does this leave White House plans to deploy the National Guard to cities like Chicago and Baltimore?
Well, that's actually two completely different topics because the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals previously ruled that President Trump could, in essence, deploy the troops, but only to protect federal buildings. So in Washington, D.C., there's a separate law that allows for the president to deploy troops in Washington, D.C., because it's not a state, it's a district, and those troops can be used for crowd control and for crime prevention and arrests. Now, in Chicago, since Chicago is not a district like District of Columbia is, the troops could only be used to protect federal buildings, just like, at least in theory, they were initially done in Los Angeles.
Let's go on to the next case. A divided U.S. appeals court ruled Friday that most of Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal. What does this 7-4 ruling say?
Well, the 7-4 ruling really puts the cornerstone of President Trump's economic plan, which is to charge other countries tariffs for the importation of goods to the United States, puts it at risk. Now, here's exactly what the Court of Appeals held. They looked at the stated legal basis for initiating the tariffs, which was a 1977 law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. But the court ruled that under that statute, at no place in that statute did Congress actually delegate the tariff authority. Because remember, under the U.S. Constitution, only Congress has the authority to issue tariffs or to institute tariffs, but frequently Congress has delegated that authority to the White House. That was the position of the Trump administration, that this 1977 law did in fact delegate that authority, but the D.C. Court of Appeals found otherwise in a 7-4 ruling, stating that President Trump did not have that authority under that specific law.
Would you expect that this would be something now that would be pushed up to the Supreme Court?
Absolutely, because there's several other issues at play here, Megan. First and foremost is there's a question on Wall Street as to whether or not the United States will have to repay these billions of dollars in tariffs that have been collected. That's a concern on Wall Street. But secondly, the other issue here is that Congress has on many occasions over the years delegated the tariff authority to the president. So the question may be that even if the president does not have the authority under this one specific statute from 1977, the president may have that authority under other statutes that have not been legally tested.
Let's go to our third story, and this is closer to home. Kansas City Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver says he will go to court if Republicans redraw his district in their favor. What legal arguments could he use if that district is split up?
Several legal arguments here, Megan. First and foremost is the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And under the Voting Rights Act, it prohibits redistricting, and sometimes it's referred to as gerrymandering. It prohibits gerrymandering or redistricting if it results in discrimination based upon race, color, or minority status. So the argument in these redistricting cases many times is by eliminating a district that is a traditional minority voting bloc, then it is by definition discriminatory under the Voting Rights Act. That's the far and away the most common use in terms of trying to invalidate redistricting is under the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
All right, that is KMOX legal analyst Brad Young, partner at Harris, Dahl, Fisher & Young. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman here. I have a question for you. Are you in the market for a new car? Let Genesis of St. Charles bring that test drive right to you. They are closer than you think, or you can stop by for exclusive in-store offers. Genesis of St. Charles has the largest selection of new Genesis models in stock, ready for you to drive home. They are the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025, based on GMA sales records for 2024. Genesis of St. Charles. You can buy online and let them deliver to you, or you can go into 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters off Mid Rivers Mall Drive and see for yourself. Luxury selection, luxury service. They are Genesis of St. Charles. They're Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership. Genesis of St. Charles, genesisofstcharles.com.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Thank you for listening to Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. St. Louis wants to update the way land use is regulated in the city. An initiative to upgrade St. Louis zoning laws is underway. It's the first major overhaul of that code in decades. And with me this morning, City Planning Executive Miriam Keller and Zoning Administrator Mary Hart Burton. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. Yeah, good morning.
First question, what's wrong with the existing zoning code?
Well, where do we start? I think at its core, it is quite old. There have been a lot of patches over the years, but the root of the zoning code dates back to the 1950s. So written at an entirely different time for a city with a different set of goals. And right now, the rules in our zoning code really just don't get us the results that align with community goals.
How do the current regulations make things difficult for someone who wants to make changes with land in the city?
The current code is rather outdated since it's from the 50s. It doesn't address a number of modern needs and updated terminology. Because it's had so much patchwork over the years, I think it's hard and confusing for developers and the general public to use. And so we're much overdue for an update.
Yeah, and if you think about just, the day-to-day experience of a small business opening in the city or somebody trying to build much needed housing, our code really just doesn't match those modern development realities and doesn't allow for a lot of community supported uses. So you see small businesses and housing developers having to go to special hearings to get approvals, and that just adds time, cost, unpredictability. And ultimately that's passed on to renters, buyers, and those are the types of things that we want to make easy in a new code.
Now, obviously, this is going to be a months-long process to redraw the zoning code. What are the overarching goals, though, of any new zoning plan?
Yeah, it will be a process. And I do want to emphasize that it will be a very public process. It'll be very iterative. People will see a lot of it all along the way. But I think some of the key goals are, just like Mary said, user friendliness and readability. Our code currently does not achieve that. To really think about fairness in the processes where they work for everyone, not just people who have the most experience navigating it, or maybe who have, paying extra for people with that expertise to help them navigate the process. We are also thinking about climate resilience, things like urban heat island effect and flooding impacts. Zoning is far from the only tool for thinking about that, but it is a tool. And I think we can build in more standards that help us be a little bit more resilient to natural disasters. That was an experience that we just went through, trying to make some quick fixes to barriers to rebuilding in our code. So those are, I think, a handful of overarching goals in terms of what we hope to achieve in the ultimate code. And the process, I think the goal is to really have it be a team effort among people of the city, and then really something that everybody can be proud of, that everybody can understand, that everybody has had a voice in.
I just want to emphasize that I think the main goal is for everyone, from the developer who wants to do 200 plus units to the citizen that just wants to replace their back porch, to be able to pick up the code and follow it and have some security in knowing that they understand the code and they can do it without multiple trips to City Hall or multiple hearings that hold it up. So for me, that's the goal.
Are there any other urban areas that are models for St. Louis that may be studied for ideas?
That's a great question. I think we are living in a little bit of an era of zoning reform across the country. So I think we're learning alongside cities across the nation. Coming to mind right now, though, are cities like Columbus, Ohio, that's midway through a zoning update. Buffalo, New York had a successful one several years ago. Several cities across the country, all shapes and sizes, are engaged in this work.
So this is just getting launched. What's the timeline?
So kick off tonight. For those listening, come check it out. We will be releasing segments of the code over the next roughly year, segments of the code and segments of the map, with the target for a complete draft code and draft map by the end of next summer. Another part of this process is in mid-September, just in a couple of weeks, we'll be forming a community advisory committee. Applications are currently open. That will be a really important kind of cross-section of the community that provides a voice, helping us kind of flag things as we go and make sure we're aligned with community needs. So target full draft code by the end of next summer. That at that point, there will still be more feedback. It would have to, of course, go through the formal legislative process, first recommended by the Planning Commission, and then through the Board of Aldermen. And, goal is ultimately signed into law as an ordinance.
And where is that kickoff tonight?
It is the Forest Park Visitor Center. The event starts at 5:30, but doors open at 5 p.m. And we'll have some information set up. The first edition of the Zoning Upgrade Scoop, which is a fun sort of newspaper-style newsletter about the process, and all sorts of people to talk to about zoning.
All right. That is St. Louis City Planning Executive Miriam Keller and Zoning Administrator Mary Hart Burton. Thank you both for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Cardinals hitting coach Brant Brown raised some eyebrows with his comments about Jordan Walker. Plus, why are auto shops still backlogged from the COVID years? And ChatGPT is getting parental controls. It all starts at 9 a.m. on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
The summer days may be waning, but that doesn't mean you have to stop spending time in your outdoor space. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, because they are the sign you have the very best. If you're envisioning some beautiful patio with a fire pit, or maybe one of those, pizza ovens. I don't know what you want in your outdoor space, but you can enjoy it year round. Chesterfield Fence and Deck also does decks, of course, and sunrooms, screen rooms. Those sunrooms are wonderful for enjoying your outdoor space all year round. If you have an idea of what you want, let them know, or they do free project design, free in-home estimates, or feel free to visit Chesterfield Fence and Deck out in the Chesterfield Valley. They've got a beautiful showroom where you can see and touch all the products. Maybe you just need a fence. They do great fences with beautiful cedar, vinyl, aluminum, chain link, whatever it is that you need. Chesterfield Fence and Deck can help you. And if you mention me, Debbie Monterrey, 48 months interest-free financing is yours. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.